जिंदगी का बिल्कुल मत दे हिसाब आज राज है मेरा बन के लाजवाब तू देख AsmitCJ का नया ही ख्वाब चल उठ दुनिया के नहीं कोई जवाब खेलो खेल जैसे युद्ध का मैदान वो देखो ग्रीन पिस्टली का छन का सामान तेरा भाई MVP बन के आज आया AsmitCJ का स्टेम में भैया बाबा क्या नजारा आगाज जनरल AsmitCJ हल्ला बोला देख कोई भी ढंग हर चोटी का नहीं कोई भी संग तू बस देखता रह हम उठाते धूम धमाक दिन में आता है नया ट्विस्ट तुझे मिलता है सिर्फ असली का मिक्स AsmitCJ के साथ तू रहता हमेशा लिट हर मैच में पक्का फायर तुम्हारा हिट जब करे स्नाइपिंग का करते वार हर गोल पे करे हमेशा निशाना मार तुझसे ना मिल सकेगा कोई और प्यार AsmitCJ के लिए प्यार रखो दिल का हार आगाज जनरल AsmitCJ हल्ला बोला देख कोई भी ढंग हर चोटी का नहीं कोई भी संग तू बस देखता रह हम उठाते धूम धमाक
नमस्कार 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 स्वागत आहे सर्वांचं आजच्या नवीन स्ट्रीमवर वही खाल वही हड्डी वही हैम वही पुराना गेम तो चालू करते हैं अपना वॉच पार्टी का गेम। तो स्वागत है सभी का आज के नए स्ट्रीम पे। आज हम अलग स्ट्रीम करने वाले हैं वो कि वॉच पार्टी रहेगी वाइटलिटी वर्सेस फाल्कन ग्रैंड फाइनल है ब्लास्ट प्रीमियर राइवल्स सीजन 1 2025 उसका फाइनल सेकंड मैप। हम लेट है लेकिन कोई ना हमारे टाइम के हिसाब से हम परफेक्ट ऑन पॉइंट है। लेकिन एक मैच ऑलरेडी हो चुका है जो कि इन्फर्नो था और वो फैल्कन जीत चुकी है और अभी सेकंड मैप D2 है उसमें फर्स्ट हाफ तो हो गया 3-9 स्कोर है। तो अभी देखते हैं नेक्स्ट हाफ में क्या होता है वाइटल जीतने वाली है या फिर फाल्कन कमबैक करने वाला है। तो चलो अनम्यूट करते हैं यहाँ पर। जोहान भाई वेलकम वेलकम स्वागत है स्ट्रीम पे। कैसे हो मेरे भाई? क्या वाइटलिटी का जो कंटिन्यूअस विन स्ट्रीक है वो आज एंड होने वाला है या फिर कंटिन्यू होने वाला है देखेंगे।
Close approaches in moments, but really to me it's ZywOo who controls a lot of the tempo throughout that game, and the long round was the perfect example of that.
Comparing this to Melbourne's hard, obviously, the grand finals crowd and everything like that, and we're thinking, what's the best possible outcome for a match like this? It might be this, you know, having Dust 2 taken potentially by Vitality, Falcons ending the Inferno win streak, like, it's a surprise to see Vitality wake up this much, but look at them go. However, Nico with that answer back means that Falcons could actually pick up another pistol.
Although I think reaction is clear. Vitality just push it down long, take what space you can while the uncertainty of B is still up there. Yeah, it's such a golden chance usually for Vitality to reclaim pistols. Not today. Not in the face of Monacy, who gets that Falcons war machine rolling.
All right, man.
3-0 करो यार 3-0 हमें भी मैच खेलने हैं।
Falcons now CT side here.
मजा आएगा भाई 3-0 से हारे तो। अभी 5-9 तो होने वाले।
4v5 recovery.
Yeah, just ate the entire end of that volley, no problem.
Shots रे क्लिस्टर one side Monacy भाई one side Monacy। अरे वाचला।
Thing is, you know, with the tale of Vitality as of late, it's all about how the floor of the team has risen and they're all just playing this great CS. That's the formula we have here on Dust 2. That's why Vitality had the comfortable lead they did. They were able to tap back into what allowed this match win streak they're on to grow to the greatness that it did.
लेकिन ये मैच कैसे मिस कर सकते हैं गाइस?
वो तो है ना, ये मैच करके फेस इट खेलने का मतलब नहीं है।
YTO बक्तस का ट्विचो बक्तस
YTO
8 Dust 2 wins in a row.
Correct, which quality चांगली है?
I think the beauty of that 8-match win streak too is that just the names that they've beat, it's every single top team.
My boy.
Yes. And it's like Spirits Dust 2.
Because first pistol जीत चुके हैं, अभी advantage है gun का.
Wasted no time making a name for themselves right here on this legendary map.
याच्यामध्ये होता ना टेसेस
But speaking of taking their time, Vitality just stagnating outside these doors. Tessa sees this as an invitation to get active on the flank. And he's going to find Back's turn. 4 players, perfect pinch.
SSCs
Oh, the
होता भाई
99 sandwich.
A
उसका
crowd
मेरे
of
को एक
players in
नाइफ
front of them,
अभी भी याद है
and they just
Gamma
make
finish में
mincemeat of that one.
गैमा डॉपलर फिनिश में
Magic on the window.
use
All you
करता
gotta
था
do
वो।
is hold back the
नाम क्या है
Zywu
उसका?
scout. You can already see
Good
this
knife.
natural rotation of the SMG players coming through to try to close quickly. They
Nice.
will do exactly that. One casualty in the form of Kixan, but what a perfectly timed pinch.
They were the spam. in the
प्रीमियर
sandwich.
डे था रे कोई ना कोई
Big baguette
That was a big one.
sandwich, dude.
Yeah. That was bigger than the one Freya held.
लेट्स गो बोला ना भाई
You know what they say
5-9
about people with big feet.
अभी ऐड नहीं आने वाले प्रीमियर है तो
That's Freya after all.
प्रीमियम
Incendiary
सॉरी
here for
प्रीमियर
Robs.
नहीं
No chance, buddy.
नाइस
Want to
केसेस
exit long? TSS has other ideas. He's really just controlling them. You know, we want to praise that whole T-side TSS endeavor. Well, defense looking rock solid as well. And I think that was one of the fairer questions about this, whether TSS could keep it up like he did in Australia. You know, one of the key takeaways for me in an interview since was him saying, like, with the stars of m0NESY and Nico now next to him, there's no pressure on me to perform like a star. And within that, you know, he kind of just comes out from the shadows
You know,
and
he
hits
almost,
hard.
You know, he almost felt
I'll
weird
see the
about saying it,
professional
right? Because
Yeah.
it's like I need good players to play well, but I played so
Madra bhai,
exceptionally
welcome,
well.
welcome.
It's actually kind of
स्वागत है
cool.
stream
Like
पे,
I was
कैसे
actually
हो मेरे
better than
भाई?
them. And yeah, that is the interesting part about TSS. But you always appreciate. And I mean, it's easy to be honest when you're confident, and it's easy to be confident when you're putting up numbers like he has, having that performance. But TSS is a player that has been growing
Yes,
over the
yeah,
last
he
3
made
years.
taklami.
Every
Skin
roster
code ला.
that he's played on, he's
Nice,
contributed,
skin code nice,
improved,
skin
and
club ला.
changed in his roles.
हाँ करतो
And his
बघ
upward
आपला
potential is still sort of untapped.
स्पार्कल वीडियो बनवतो बघ wanna play CS2 now or later bro
m0NESY looking real comfortable.
match
This shot
देख
though,
रहा हूँ यार
Apex just the top of his head over the barrels.
ये
Looking
match
for
छोड़
the defense.
छोड़ के
Ooh,
CS2
Nico
खेलने का
actually drops the
मतलब नहीं
chance
है
of killing
मैच
off of the
मैच
Kixan
मजा
double
है
kill. I was gonna say they held one other
बेस्ट ऑफ
side of
5 है
mid.
पता नहीं
It
कब
was a successful push
और
into tunnel,
इसके बाद
surely
ये
here
अब
by
3-0
Kixan, but
होगा
everything else goes
तो हम
south.
जाएंगे
Why is there
P6 grind
Messi in
करने
spawn, asks Kixan.
Nice.
We've all been there, plus he had the bomb.
Yeah.
If Kixan's ready and wins that duel, this round goes right back up into the 50-50.
I guess one of those situations, how could you be ready? And now they're
6-9
watching behind them, but there's a timing here for
10-6.
TSS. He might get a clip off. He
Arre!
might get 2 clip offs, in fact.
1v1
And now it's a one-on-one.
this
Messi
is
has
short
the B
भाई
side to himself. He has all the time in the world. Where do you want to play from?
nice
TSS can come from
SS
anywhere. He's gonna play
nice
he grab?
what, out on the scaffolding, in the window. He's spotting.
Molly flash, no kit. Duel right here. I love this reposition from Messi. TSS seems more concerned about the site and picking up pieces for the retake. Hasn't even looked at scaffold once. There it is. Creepy stuff from Messi. Crouches down behind half scaffold.
ईशान
And
भाई
make sure
welcome
that this
welcome स्वागत
1v3
है
from
stream पे
TSS isn't pushed over the line.
Nice timing from TSS, but yeah, excellently played from Messi. And it was just active enough that, like, I think TSS knows for sure.
मस्त
Messi
अरे
had that
मस्त
site for a long time. He was last spot at top of mid. He could be making a play by, like, playing outside the site. And if Messi, if he's playing on top and way too flush,
Clear
with the
advantage,
wall,
yaar.
he's
Clear
gonna get hard
advantage.
cleared and killed. So just the right amount of confidence right there at the way that Messi takes the duel. And TSS knows it. He's had a feeling.
कोई भी रहता ना वो मर
Quickly out
जाता रे
onto the blue box.
एडवांटेज ही
Vitality
था उसको
playing with a certain vigor at this moment. Already a lot of bodies on this long corner to test m0NESY perhaps. But a shuffling defense as Vitality wastes no time. I mean, they're not hiding this. Molotov onto the car.
Oh, they're so far ahead of this.
Gonna
Arre,
creep 3
hey,
players already
meta
ahead of that
smoke
smoke.
gaya.
Talk about how comfortable Vitality could be. TSS are gonna have to do it again.
Nahi.
And he's gonna drop with nothing.
Nice.
m0NESY looks to be the difference maker on this one. Knows he's on the ramp, can wait just a bit, but he misses that chance and gives up half his health in the process.
Yeah,
The
worth
Kixan
it.
climb up could be a threat. Nico's boost, perhaps.
The smoke's in such a weird spot. It's so deep. There's 2 mollies here for the CT side. But they can't let this go on too long.
And that's fine. You've got m0NESY with an incendiary
किसी
coming
pro
from
game
catwalk
खेल-
soon enough.
pro
Messi
player
with a
का
lesser
gameplay
weapon takes
देखने
that quick look
से
over the
बहुत कुछ
ledge.
Oh, a long
सीखने को
smoke.
मिलता है
That could
CS
spell
में
disaster
स्पेशली
here for
yes
the
yes yes
Falcons. Are they still
मैंने
going to go
ऑब्जर्व
for
किया
this?
है yes yes
Nico
100%
threw off the
निशान भाई
flash. Zywu covers.
Nice
AK in hand.
रे
You got
अरे
three
यार
more
मैंने
players. Missed shot
अच्छा
on m0NESY.
What a shot.
Picked up by
Round miss
Magic.
कर दिया
Apex slips up, hits the headshot again. 2 seconds. Knifes out. Can't kill him. Gets it. And now that bomb pops. Vitality. Just barely.
Last possible frame, and he gets that wild knife kill in
क्यों
the
जाना
smoke.
है?
Oh, he's psyched about that.
Defuse पे।
4-11 rounds too. Had to be then.
थ्रो गए, ये थ्रो गया। अल्टेक्स भाई वेलकम वेलकम।
Doesn't get any more tense
हेलो
than that.
MSI का 100 हर्ट्ज का मॉनिटर ले लूं 101 RGB 7.1K का। अरे मालूम नहीं यार, लेकिन ले सकते हो, लेकिन ध्यान रखो IPS पे जाओ।
It was 0-1 and the first shot, and then on
IPS पे
replay,
जाओ,
it's
IPS पे
0-0.
जाओ।
We're just
VA
down to
पैनल
the
या
final
फिर
frame.
TN पैनल
The
मत लो।
last tick, the last damn sub tick. I don't even know how that works in CS2 with defusing the bombs. And in CS:GO,
डिफरेंस
there's always,
दिखता है
you know,
IPS
there's
और VA
specific
पैनल का।
ticks, but now it just gets a
रिव्यूज
little bit
आपको
more complicated.
अच्छा
Maybe
ही
a bit more
बोलेंगे VA पैनल
precise.
का,
Maybe
लेकिन
he
जब
would
आप
have been
लेते हो
able to
ना,
do that in
तो आप
CS:GO.
सिर्फ
Living in the
एक
sub-tick,
थिंग्स
yeah,
नहीं करते हैं,
seriously.
मल्टीपल थिंग्स
Just like
एक मॉनिटर पे,
Marcy's
सब
quick
कुछ हम
scopes.
उसी मॉनिटर पे करते हैं, तो IPS जरूरी है।
Could not have been closer.
IPS हो तो ले सकते हो।
The scoreline, not the same story. Vitality, 5 rounds, they pull ahead. And you can see the economic problems for Falcons with the double scout.
नाइस
Oh,
मोनिसी।
what a response out of Monacy, man. 1 for 1 here to Apex.
IPS है तो ले सकते हो भाई। नाइस 100 हर्ट्ज ले लो या
Falcons have
180।
any timeouts
बताओ
left,
वीडियो
but
एडिटिंग एंड गेमिंग जितना अच्छा
surely
हर्ट्ज है आप
everyone's
ले
gonna
सकते
be
हो,
rattled
बजट
after
के
that
ऊपर
last
है।
round.
जितना ज़्यादा
Who
हर्ट्ज है
knows who's gonna
उतना
win into
गेमिंग में एडवांटेज मिलता है।
final
तो आपका
moments.
बजट अलाउ करता है 180 तो 180 ही पे ही
Lining
जाओ।
up a shot here with the Deagle, but he's alone. No support from
एक्सपीरियंस
the A
डबल हो
side at
जाएगा
all.
100 से।
Yeesh, it's getting too hot in here.
Still though, he's hanging on for
एक
dear
1
life.
किल रे शिट।
And as
नाइस
you'd
ट्राई
expect with that much
ट्रेसेस।
fire at your feet, tough to keep the crosshair on point.
PS5 पे
It's only been 2 teams
नहीं
on
नहीं
this streak for
नहीं
Falcons
खेल
that have
सकते
brought them
PS5
up past double
PS5 पे
digits.
CS2
Vitality
ऑप्शन है
will
क्या?
now be the third.
Mactavils नहीं खेल सकते।
And Vitality were the only team to take them to OT on this map.
वन साइड जीता रे वाइटलिटी। मेरे को डैश टू देखना मजा नहीं आता, मतलब
Since this round's gonna go Vitality, we've
अब
gotten a
आदत हो
word from
चुकी
our
है रे क्या करने
producer.
वाले हैं
In-game
लोग,
tech
क्या
took a
टैक्टिक्स
look
लेने
at
वाले
that
हैं।
defuse. He says the clock in game is
मेटा इतना चेंज नहीं
0.00.
होता, थोड़ा बहुत ही
0.00.
चेंज
I mean,
होता
it's
है,
we're
just
down
में।
into the thousandths of a second.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's insane. So that is sub tick, because if it's
95%
point-
SRGB
if it's
versus
08,
100% और
that's the last
108।
tick. In
अरे
CS:GO,
कोई
that was the last
आइडिया
chance.
नहीं
It's
रही
the last
इन
thing that you'd be able to see on the
रियल लाइफ
stream
में
before
कोई
defuse
ऐसा
comes in.
फर्क नहीं जान, मतलब महसूस होता। वो टेक्निकल
To the thousandths of a
स्पेसिफिकेशन
second
रहते
here.
हैं।
With that knife stab.
मैंने सिर्फ एक देखा,
Apex pulls off
100
the
हर्ट्ज का
unthinkable.
मॉनिटर है और
Oh, and there is a final
IPS
timeout
है,
available
बस।
here for the Falcons.
क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग मेरे मॉनिटर पे वो चिपका देते हैं, ये हो वो है
Seems
ये
like a great
ऐसा
time to
जीबी
call it. This round they don't have much
कलर
money,
विलर
so
भाई
okay.
कुछ नहीं भाई,
Even
वो
though last
सिर्फ
round was crazy, they can just forget about it.
मार्केटिंग है वो सिर्फ।
A little bit of time to cool off. Sonic getting in the mix, the most important moment possible. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot to work with. We
इतना
have an
सोचते रहोगे ना,
MP9,
तो
three
फिर
Famas here, and a scout for Falcons to
सोचते
put up a
रहोगे,
final
ऐसा
stand.
चीज है। पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस
The craziest
मैंने जब
result
लेने
possible in
के
this
टाइम देखा ना,
series for these
मैं भी
first two
कंफ्यूज
maps.
भाई,
Both teams
ये
potentially
चीजें क्या
ending each
रहती
other's
है
streaks.
और लेने के बाद ये
When it
चीजें
felt like
काम
Falcons
किधर
were in a 2-0 this
काम
series
किधर रही मेरे।
off the back of Dust 2. Tassas saved that Inferno at the end of the game.
आईपीएस का व्यूइंग एंगल अच्छा
An
रहता है,
amazing
इसलिए
4K
बहुत बड़ा
killing
एडवांटेज
Zairu
रहता है।
while planting the bomb. No help available to him. Wonder if any of the Falcons players have a play like that up their sleeve.
काय चालू काय आहे ब्लॅक
मैच बघतोय मैच
चालू काय आहे
6-12
Yeah, I can think of a couple that could bring it to the table.
फर्स्ट है का सेकंड है?
But neither
Second
of them are
map.
on this B bomb site. Instead, it is
Vitality
Kicksan and
wins this.
Magisk.
Broken
Healthy
है
amount of
भाई.
util here for Magisk, but already those nades sail out. They've got the cover of the smoke at the exit of the tunnel. Kicksan just kind of caught. And now Magisk, no double kill to his name. Looking primed. If not for the
13-6.
Nico, Fomus out through window. Apex double kill.
जोरात
An
बोल ना रे.
MP9 delivery here for Monacy. It is a retake needed at a man
1-1.
disadvantage. As Vitality follow through on the backswing of this T side. Gunning for
1-1 हो
4
गया.
rounds straight to just close this in convincing fashion.
अभी टेसेस जिंदा है
Put
भाई.
an end to the
One
short-lived
health.
but impressive win streak of Falcons on Dust
best
2.
of 5.
That is the goal here
Best
for
of 5.
Vitality, to get one back over Falcons after their win streak loss on Inferno, and really pushed out of this bomb site now. Monacy a quarter health and time's ticking, so they'll close it. 13-6. We're not in Australia.
13-6 हो गए भाई. क्या चल रहा है चैट में? कोई इंडियन फैन है क्या? नहीं है.
काय वाटतं कोण जिंकणार आहे?
फाल्कन ब्रो. अब आपकी टीम को हराएंगे हम.
चलेगा चलेगा.
हम्म.
आता काय नाही, आता फरक पडत नाही.
ग्रँड स्लॅम मिळाला ना.
पुढचा मॅप ट्रेन विसरू नको.
अरे देख भाई, तू देख. हारने वाला है तू.
यावेळेस मॅजिक चालतं का? मी नाही बघितली मॅच.
मागच्या मॅच मस्त गेला.
चाललाय चांगला खेळतो. अरे त्याचा रोल चेंज केलाय ते, त्यामुळे तो नाही चालत.
काय आहे त्याचा रोल? ऑफ आहे काय?
ना, सपोर्ट प्लेयर आहे त्याचा रोल.
सपोर्ट प्लेयर.
आता एंट्री फ्रेगर दुसरा कोण असतो मागे, तो आहे तो. मॅजिक.
एंट्री फ्रॅगर कोण असन? मोनेसी नाही तर निको असन.
निको आणि टेसेस आहे, दोन आहेत. टेसेस लर्कर पण आहे. आता रोल काय आहे मला पण एवढा नक्की नाही. हिरो फ्रॅगिंग आहे सध्या तरी.
कोणच्या मॅपवर जिंकली फॅल्कन्स?
काय
कोणच्या मॅपवर जिंकली फॅल्कन्स?
कुठला मॅप होता तो?
इन्फर्नो ब्रो, इन्फर्नो.
हा इन्फर्नो.
level that we know he can, where he can actually take over a game, and
One side
that's what we
one
actually
side,
got this
bro.
time.
आणि हे काय होते?
We did
Map
indeed.
pick कोणाचा
We
होता?
did indeed. I do have to ask though, folks.
तेवढं
we're
नाही रे
getting a lot
माहिती,
of
आम्ही
map
आत्ताच आलोय.
streaks snapped. Does that
That's
make
what
you
it is.
nervous for Vitalities? There's a big streak out there. And the streaks they be snapping.
There's Train too. 5-0 on Train up
Chapter
next.
1-1
So
झालाय का?
there's
मला
another
वाटलं
mini streak
2-1
before the
Mini
big
streak.
Yeah.
Mini streak.
We're
Yeah.
building up. Yeah, moose
Yeah.
boosh before the main
Okay.
course.
Okay.
I think we were all worried after Inferno that Falcons were just going to roll this over because Dust 2 was such a good map for Falcons. So
Identity.
when you have the roll right back, then you're
अभी बहुत टाइम है, शायद 12 मिनट है ना. तब तक कुछ तो हो जाए भाई. यार पालकची शेव खाली मी. अरे बेकार जामच हे येते, वेगळंच वाटते आता मध्ये. एक दो डीएम खेलता हूँ मैं. सोबिच एंड XYZ न्यू प्रीमियर 27. क्या हो रहा है ये?
हैकर है भिंडी.
अच्छी बात. अब कहाँ गया ये पनोती अकाउंट, किधर गया?
तुझ्या संकेतचा असर भाई. काल सोबत खेळलो तो.
अरे चल चल चल, कुछ भी मत बोल. अभी 11 मिनट बाकी है मैच को, तब तक हम खेल लेते हैं. चौहान भाई यो लेवल 10. नूब. अरे बहुत अभी बाकी है यार. ये चला गया मेरा एक्सपायर CS रेटिंग. शिट शिट शिट. अरे वो खेला ही ना नहीं ना मैंने। अरे तुम जाओ यार, इस मॉनिटर से निकलो दूसरे मॉनिटर पे। वो सोलो ग्राइंड किया था ना 15K तक, उसके बाद खेला ही नहीं मैंने। ये सीन हुआ,
मग काय झालं?
एक्सपायर झाली।
किती पर्यंत असते ती रेटिंग?
काय माहिती यार, परत इकडे झाला। उस मॉनिटर पे नहीं जाना ब्रो। अभी ठीक है। हाँ तो एक विन लागेल ना। यस यस यस, देखना पड़ा। अरे कल तक थी, हमने कल विंगमैन ट्राई करता। 2 मिनट विंगमैन को दे देते, क्योंकि 10 मिनट के बाद मैच लगने वाली है। अरे ये क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं? इधर कैसे आया मैं? Counter Strike 2, search it, server is not full, latency 50, connect। चल revenant.z पे हम execute खेल रहे हैं। मग अजून चांगला उघडेल रैंक आता है। अरे नहीं यार, उतना ही उगड़ निकलता है शायद, या फिर कम होता है। एक मैच खेलनी थी रे मेरे को, हारा तो भी चलता था। टा टा टा। 15K प्लस उगड़े। म्यूट MVP भाई। फर्स्ट मॅप जिंकला तरच 15K प्लस उघडेल। ओके ओके। Terrorist win. अरे ये हो गया ना। Fancy.
Gear up. We aren't going on a windy walk here. Deploying flashbang.
पी लिया लगे रे। अरे अरे अरे, मेरे को भी साउंड नहीं आया था रे। हद है भाई, एक की हद है भाई। बैक इन 2 मिनट में है। अरे यार साइट में भी है। ले लो यार, ले लो प्लीज, ले लो। Terrorist win.
त्याचं पीक फाल्कन जिंकले, फाल्कनचा पीक।
जय श्री राम पिंटो भाई, वेलकम वेलकम, स्वागत है स्ट्रीम पे। मैच लगने वाला है 2 मिनट के अंदर। न्यूट चाहिए। अरे बाप रे, अननोन क्या ही मारा। क्रिकेट नहीं है, वॉच पार्टी चल रही है आज। जल्दी जीती तो देखेंगे, 1-2 मैच खेलेंगे, लेकिन लगता तो नहीं है। बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है। डेढ़ मिनट अभी बाकी है। एग्जीक्यूटिव सर्वर पे खेल रहा हूँ मैं, रेवेनेंट जी कम्युनिटी सर्वर पे। चेयर ले ले अभी। अरे चेयर लेने वाले हैं हम मंथ एंड पे। मंथ एंड में स्पीड है तो जहान है भाऊ। सही कहा, सही कहा। अरे इसके यहाँ पर ये नहीं। नाइफ चाहिए भाई, नाइफ। मेरे को बटमिंटर लोग फैंटा बुला रहे हैं. If you know what I means, why they saying फैंटा because of its color bro. इनको क्या बताओ कि अब भाई अनपढ़ आदमी भाई हम क्या कर सकते. अनपढ़ गवार लोग. इनको कश्मीर चाहिए. अरे happens. He wasn't understand meaning of Afron color lol such Indians है, but still they support winger love from all. अरे हाँ भाई उनके मतलब वो साले गुस्सा आता है भाई उन लोगों से मेरे को. तो मोदी रुक गया है रे. वॉर करो बोलू होने तो भाई इनके औकात दिखने तो. और जो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं ना उनको भाई उनको भेजो उधर.
सर्वर ही नहीं पता भाई.
अबे वहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है लोअर स्प्लिट तो ए पे क्यों फ्लैट करेगा तू. आउटसाइड से भी अपन
लोड स्प्लिट देखा नहीं.
पेड़ के लट बंदा सीख ले ना. पेड़ के बोलने से पहले चू बे कीड़े. वही बना है तेरे लिए. पढ़ना आता है ना समझ आता है.
खेलना तो सीखो.
कुत्ता बच गेम पैदा हो जाता.
इस सर्वर पे भी ऐसे क्यों आते हैं लोग रे. अरे दो लोग हैं. मैं उनको बोला यू आर कम फुल इन आवर कंट्री था. मैं बोला ब्रो इफ शिवाजी महाराज डोंट इवन वेयर सैफ्रॉन कलर इन फाइट वी वुड बी स्लेव्स टू अदर. भाई नहीं यार माइंडसेट नहीं है भाई. सही नहीं है इन लोगों का. उनको भाई पाकिस्तान छोड़ाना चाहिए. जो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं ना भाई उनको बोलो जाओ तुम भाई. इनको पासपोर्ट दो पाकिस्तान का और जाओ उधर सपोर्ट करो उनको जाके. ये इंडिया के लिए कीड़े भाई. चालू हो गई. चलो एग्जिट द सर्वर. वापस आते हैं अपने मैच के ऊपर. Let's go.
When those Danes step up, that to me is the equivalent of Flamesy and Mezzy finding their current form and why Vitality have pushed the limits of what is possible. You know, it's these duos on the end of the table that suddenly become the talking points.
That don't have the greatest roles and everything.
Exactly.
Oh, but I said,
for sure.
Stand with my country, culture, diversity,
in terms of roles, again, with the
of
Rops
our country.
move,
भाई
it's
यही
actually
तो
opened
चीज़
up
है ना
Mezzy's
भाई.
game. It's given Flamesy
हमारे
even
पास
more
बहुत सारे धर्म
comfortability,
के
and I
लोग
think they've
हैं
just
लेकिन वो
taken
एक ही
to it
धर्म
so
है
well.
जो
And I think it's just been awesome, man. We're just getting such great rounds back and forth. I mean, even these last two maps, even though streaks are getting ended, you're still seeing both teams put up amazing fights within rounds and micro situations. And well, this will be an excellent test of individual level. Train has been scrappy as hell these last couple of months. Another streak's on the line. And a chance for a 2-1
5.
Apex returns the favor with a big scalp in Monacy.
रिव्यूज नव्हते रे मी
Not
बोललो
gonna be
तुला
an
विचारतो
ID
काय
threat for
आहे
Nico. He takes a look at it for a second.
तो नॉर्मल
Icon smoke comes down.
वर्क फ्रॉम होम
Nico
साठी
looking a
भारी आहे
little labored in that effort, but luckily for him, his team comes up with an edge. Flamesy into the
म्हणजे
clutch.
कोणाला गिफ्ट द्यायचा आहे ना
You got a lot of bodies to
नॉन
figure
गेमर
out here.
वाल्याला
Insta gush on
भारी आहे
Tessa's.
तो
Great start
काय
considering he
म्हणतोस
takes no damage back in
तो पण
return.
खुश होईल भाई
very hard to get into tradable spots. I know Flamesy thinks that he can win this
0%
round.
गेमिंग आहे वो
With that bit of info, it's scary for the CT side.
Bombs down outside T-Con. That'll be a key pickup at some point.
I was thinking about, shooting the feet. 5 HP for Tessas. He could die to that.
Why not, right? Take him out at the shins. There's that peek, though, from Magisk. Grabs all the way back around CT spawn, and well worth it. Falcons pistol secured.
As an excellent rotation out of Magisk. Because the bomb was still in their vision, they know that they can pull guard on B. No problem for the time being. And again, it's the 1v3 is possible because these players are going to have to take 3 individual fights. They're going to be very far away from each other. And it's hard to keep information constant when someone's lurking around the trains.
भाई ओपी भाई
I think definitely Magisk on pistols in general has been getting very key kills.
ए माझ्या नजरेत ही आहे रे चेअर
Now, people can say what they want about the map, but
ग्रीन
the
सोल
meta is
लाइट
going to
है वो
change.
कुठली तरी
People's expectations for it are going to change. Some teams are going to come through with innovations no one's seen before. Any one good gimmick could be the difference maker.
Nico challenged somewhat, but the pistol will secure it. That's bombed down, so no extra money here by Vitality's favor. And I know there's been a conversation lately online about Train being the least played map and whatnot, but at a professional level, it's also been increasingly more played.
Yes.
Month by month.
यस भाई यस
So that's
मेरा भी
promising, like you're saying. Like, we're going to watch the meta develop.
मेरे को लगा कि बहुत सारा चीजें अभी भी ऐड करनी
Another
बाकी
reason
है
the streak's happening is because
रीवर्क अभी बाकी
he
है
might be the fastest
लेकिन
runner
है मेरे
in Counter-Strike.
like
When
that.
CS2 came out, he
रीवर्क
was
अभी
like
बाकी है
every
लेकिन
detail of the
जितना
game.
पहले दिन
Like him and
सोचा था
Monacy are
उतना
the two
नहीं है
fastest
लेकिन है
runners, I would
रीवर्क
say.
बाकी
And then when Train
लेकिन
happened,
बेस्ट
he just
मैप
instantly
मस्त
became the
मस्त
best inner anchor.
जितना हम
He's
खेलते
just
ना
still the
वो
best,
अंडरस्टैंड हो
honestly, in
जाता है
terms of
कि
the way
मैप
that he
है
plays
अच्छा है
it.
अच्छा है
It obviously suits his strengths.
I'd like to just take this moment before the gun rounds start to shout out another fast learner for CS2. For me, it's
लेकिन
Robson Monacy
ए
at the
साइड
top.
का जो एंट्री है ना
I thought
दोनों
his
साइड का तो
adaptation to
थोड़ा
the
सा
new
मेरे
op style
को
on CS2 was one of those things that really caught me off guard.
ऑफ लगता है
But
वो थोड़ा सा करेंगे तो अच्छा होगा रीवर्क ए
Took
मेन
an extra
एंट्री
year though, but he's learned very fast in the last year.
yeah, I just was trying to find a way
बाकी
to
मस्त
put
है
Torji
भाई
praise into this
आईवी
conversation.
बेस्ट है
Torsi probably
बीमेन
did
भी
that.
अच्छा है A1 भी
Here we
अच्छा
go.
है
First guns for Vitality on Train.
A main
Instant
का थोड़ा सा
Ivy
issue है।
pressure. Pretty quick change up. They're met by smoke though.
अरे यार इंटरनेट क्यों नहीं है
You
ड्रैगन
could also argue I was on that list too. I mean, didn't miss a beat when CS2 came out. Didn't miss a beat
My
when things
friend
went
was
online.
using
Was amazing.
exploder
Just
hacks
like
in CS
in any
जिसको
environment.
वेकेशन बैन पड़ा रहे
Wait, what do you mean? I
कांग्रेचुलेशन
thought at the start of CS2, Zaiwu wasn't even a top 10 player.
यार बेचारा
Wasn't there somebody out there saying that?
Anyone who has a take like that, I have him muted. So
that's why I don't use hacks
Yeah, it's probably better for your mental health.
कुठला मॅप आहे रे
train
स्टार्ट कोण घेईल फॅल्कन घेईल
Falcon bro
Down to 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs here. Vitality, 50
ना
seconds.
ट्रेन मेटॅलिटी
Get those nades out, but unfortunately for them, T-Con's not looking all that free. Smoked off,
भाई आपका अकाउंट मत दो
and a very front-facing Nico. They try to press
वो
through.
दे रहा है
They'll
तो
find the entry. That flash just enough to make
क्या
Nico
करोगे भाई
uncomfortable.
अब क्या ही
Suddenly now,
होगा
Monacy, this Famas
बैन
at
है
this
तो
distance looks
इधर खेल भी नहीं
uncomfortable as
पाओगे
well. It's a double kill from Flamesy. A lot of players just boxed up
You
on top of
shout
E-Box.
and got banned.
And
Arey
Apex
bhai.
gets another one. So slowly but surely,
हाँ, समझ गया,
Vitality
समझ गया.
continue
Friend
flooding
use,
forward
rehack.
closer to this site. Bomb
Use
is
shout
in
and got
tow,
that.
though. Third piece
Ban,
that needs
sorry.
to cross over. We're down to 12 seconds. Oh, that was a great chance for Magis to
careful
interrupt the
there,
follow
उसके साथ.
through. You could see that hesitation from Vitality for a second, but in contrast to some of the chaotic outer moments, this one was Vitality, real composed.
Yeah, and they're just willing to try the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's really not that different.
हाँ,
to their
Zodiac
previous
light.
days. But the kills go better.
Mactavils.
They get Nico without a kill for him.
Zodiac light बघ ना.
And you can see how insecure the CTs are. They're the ones who are wanting to play
बाटो
close
तो
to the
तुला
choke points,
WhatsApp
pushing through smokes off of flashes. There is no
chair
CT
देखना.
solid hold with, you know, E-box, back six. It's because of the nature of the way they changed Ivy too.
हाँ.
It's all a little different right now.
याची पण तीच आहे बहुतेक कुणालची.
Nico playing behind trains this time, picking up the same position that Kixan occupied a round ago.
Valve
Frees
is
up
banning
Kixan to play
people
on the other
with
side
aim
of
lock,
Pop
not wall.
Box.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is a momentum round for Vitality.
Aim
and
locks
Falcons are
रहते हैं ना,
risking
उनको बैन दे
everything.
देता है और वॉल्स रहते हैं उनको नहीं. और अभी है ना भरे पड़े वॉल्स. लोकेशन मालूम रहती है.
It's a variation in the setup. We'll see if it changes
और हम
things.
detect नहीं
Flamesy's
कर
not really
पाते
going to
रे.
have as many targets. Never mind. They actually just come shuffling closer. Very interruptive. Robson
बहुत
Mezzi
सारे
bounced back to
educated
keep
रहते
it
हैं लोग.
even, but then we get Monacy sliding around
Axe
inside
use
of
करने
sight
वाले
to
हैं.
try to
बहुत सारे
recover here. They
चूतिया
go
रहते हैं.
even, if not
चूतिया
for the
लोग
health
spot होते हैं,
advantage. Mezzi
लेकिन
barely alive, so the nade will finish the job.
Nice nade, man.
And Apex to the clutch. 1v2 going to be hurt out by Monacy, so
Monacy.
Magisk wastes no moment running over towards this B site. Don't think he'll stop plant, but it'll be tough for Apex to get out of here. Molly in hand doesn't notice Magisk from Oil, and so there it is. Falcons right to a third round win.
And it's like last round in terms of how aggressive they are.
ISO speed
But
आणि
they're
काय
just like a couple
से
steps back.
वाला
They're throwing
chair,
a really good utility in the
पहले
T
मस्त
connector, but
वाला
they're still willing to fight and re-aggress and get
$4,000.
close
अरे भाई.
throughout this round. 3-1 start is very impressive here for Falcons, but you can hear the chaos in the communication.
Right, good point.
That is by design.
आपण XY ला सांगू माऊस आणायला. स्वरूप मला काही घाई नाही.
All right, so we're going to do the same thing again,
काय रे?
but this time good.
हो तो आता येणार आहे ना
I
लग्नात
mean, we saw a good example of it the one round
आता
prior.
काय ताईच्या लग्नात येणार
Difference
आहे.
being this time Falcons, you know,
तो मी
if
नसताना
it's
जर आला तर
about
सांग.
fighting fire with
आपल्याला
fire,
एक
and we
माऊस
kind of
घेऊन ये.
highlighted back on the desk this chaos that Vitality creates. Well, damn, Falcons just threw two guys into the entrance of T-Con as that execute was
तुझा
coming
वाला
out.
आणला तर अजून बेस्ट
That's a
होईल.
sudden swap up that I'm
माझं
sure
वाला
if we had the comms
Ah.
on the other end, also had Vitality a little nervous for a second.
It might have also been a symptom of their
कारण
mind.
मला
So
तो
this was
बघून आहे ना
probably
मला
expensive round for
मी
Falcons.
त्या
They came
सारखाच
off of
शोधतोय
having
रे.
even a worse buy with less grenades. So
अरे
maybe they felt the
खतरनाक
need
नाही?
to
मग
get
काय?
close because he couldn't play a long drawn out round.
म्हणून मी तो बघितला रे
But
पण
it just fits better with the map in
just-
general.
आला लक्षात. अरे असं असं आहे बोलू दिसायला पण भारी दिसतो होता तो व्हाईट मध्ये.
अरे कधी
Again,
पण माऊस
I
घेताना
feel
ना,
as
super
though
light वाला
Ivy
model
is
घ्या.
as hard as it
Super
was to
light
take
घ्यायचं,
before.
Lottery Deck आहे ना.
Oh, what a
Ah.
peek at a
Super
Flamesy.
light. हा सेम तसेच
See,
मॉडेल
okay?
ग्रिप बीप मग हे जे मॉनिस
Put
वगैरे
it out just to
वापरतात
be
ना
safe.
हा
हा त्यातलं आहे पण स्वस्तातलं आहे पण हा
स्वस्तात,
स्वस्तातला
हा.
पण मस्त आहे एकदम
मस्त आहे भाई. कंपनी
I
वेगळी
think
असते.
Vitality wants to
ती
take this round
कंपनी
to the
मोठी
next
आहे
level,
म्हणून
but they get
त्यांचे
such an
प्राइस
early find that they can actually simplify and forget
हमारा
about
काम
Ivy.
चलता है ना बाकी भाड़ में जाए.
अरे
I
काय
was going to say that
हाँ ना
the
धावते
yield for taking over Ivy control
Grip
is
भी better
just so much
सोबत
less
season
than
ला
it used to
अजून
be because you don't
काय
get
सी
full
के
vision
नीचे
of
एसी
back
है.
six and threaten sandwich and threaten E-box and T-Gon all at the same time. Now you take it and
उसमें-
you still have to go
ICJ?
clear something else,
T2
clear
भाई.
an icon, and then you get something
क्या-
out of
क्या?
it. So a lot of teams are just
ग्रिप भी बेटा
skipping
हाँ
it
ना
or
भाई,
using
और
really
क्या
late round
चाहिए?
lurks. And we're still figuring out
ग्रिप
smokes
म्हणजे
here
काय
on this new map.
हातातले ग्रिप
माहिती आहे माऊस वरची ग्रीप माहिती आहे बघितला मी. मेरे को भी ऐसा लैन खेलना है. तू आजा मुंबई साइड इधर साइबर कैफे में
Pulled this one
गेमिंग
down
के.
to 35
We
seconds.
can play this
Yeah, no kidding,
with
man.
full
Aren't even outside yet.
is.
Monacy operating on his own.
But look
Kicks
how
in.
heavy they are in
stuff,
it.
भाई.
Yeah.
This is
अरे
actually correct for
event
Vitality.
चाहिए
Has to be
बड़ा
Monacy
event
to hold
चाहिए.
this.
Kixan's going to try to come running back. Fire on Monacy's feet. No smoke to extinguish this. Can't even really go for the peak the way it's
Event
spread.
मतलब
He'll find his
tournament
headshot
रहेंगे तो
though. Good
खेलेंगे
enough.
हम.
Tries to stay into cover because he
Tournament
just
चाहिए
lost
अभी.
his teammate, but Mezzi swings
team
out
बना
wide,
के.
and that's the backside
Aalti
cracked
Palti
open.
नाम से.
That's the outer yard taken.
बनाई थी,
They're cautious
लेकिन,
that somebody's over in
ban
Ivy,
हो गए
not
ना
the
उस time
case
हम.
because of the Falcons' heavy
जो
inner
register किए
emphasis.
थे, वो account ban
Vitality
हो
find
गए.
out that once that bomb goes down, this is all too easy.
Yeah, something of a blind gamble here for
Buffing,
Falcons.
cafes,
Would have loved to maybe save an extra
Max
gun
and
along the
like
way.
epics.
Honestly, did
Nice,
well to find
nice.
at least one easy fight when he
वहाँ
was
तो
getting
बनता है
mauled
भाई,
and
वहाँ
flashed
तो
a
aggression
lot of the
दिखाना
utilities
चाहिए.
funneled into the back of the bomb train, which is, you know, in classic train,
वहाँ पर
that's
कौन
sort of what
जानता है
you do.
अपने
You do
को.
your outside smokes, you sneak one out to Olaf, you get sandwich control, you threaten Ivy, and then all the CTs are curdled up behind the bomb train, close to Z and in hell. And right there, they knew that eventually they'd find Modesty in that
3-2.
spot.
जो ई बॉक्स का पोजीशन है थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट राइट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो पोजीशन से थोड़ा सा एक एंगल है ना, वो मिस हो रहा है CS:GO का.
That was that shot from
या फिर वो
Zion.
जानबूझ के हटाया
Waiting
उन्होंने.
for Kickstand to come help, but he just hit the ground so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you're just catching people coming in late for work, right? All the utility has been established so that they can fight Z really easily, so that they can run full speed across your
And
screen,
जो
so that they can be anywhere
Red,
in the yard
train है ना,
and taking those duels.
थोड़ी सी छोटी
Another
होनी
moment where
चाहिए.
money's going to be low, and Flamesy's not going to waste a moment. Look at this, completely vacant outer yard, barring the guy back sight. Did he
Oh.
not hear him? He's through C.
Oh, they can actually make this a B play, and look at this, they're ready to go here.
Oh, I mean, it's
Bro.
in the name. Flames
Magic's
finds the
must
back
Magisk
of
है भाई.
Magisk at a minute 30. And he's going to
Magisk
milk this for
पीछे देख.
everything he has to. A smoke at the base of ramp. He wants to find a second player. Won't in the end. Magisk's going to be left scratching his head. How did that timing happen?
That's incredible. I
At
wonder
least
if
Magisk
this was
को
an
मारा
adjustment
भाई.
they made, but it
बाकी
looked like they were grouped
दूसरे
really
को नहीं
well
मारा,
to pull
लेकिन-
this out of spawn. Somehow Flamesy gets by everybody outside.
और W
I
दबा
can't,
क्या
I
है,
can't
लेकिन
assume
कैसे
that they
spot
planned
नहीं
for
हुआ?
this because of how often Nico has been fighting into T-Con early on into the round, how everybody has been taking duels, flashing through the sandwich smoke
Saving
and
bro, saving.
looking for those duels. But
He's
they
saving
adopted
3-3.
or they adapted to it extremely quickly.
I mean, we cut to
Nico
Kickstand's
going to
player
save that
cam
AK.
after bombs planted. He can't help but smile
No.
and laugh it off because he's
नहीं
thinking to
लेना था.
himself, in what moment was that even possible?
Yeah. Yeah, and he cut noise at the perfect time too.
Look at this.
ये अभी CS:GO का इन्फर्नो हो चुका है. एक बार प्लांट हुआ, इम्पॉसिबल रिटेक. ऐसा चीज है. अरे मैजिक्स, पुअर मैजिक्स.
It was a great round that FaZe Clan used to run where it looked like a full outer exec, and it was just trying to sneak rain all the way down to the back of Ivy. No one else out there on upper exec, and then they just go after whenever a kill went down. Flamesy made really good executive
ये
choices
बगीटलस
here
का चेयर.
instead of, and he could have
Oh,
just
bucket
wrapped
clear.
around the back of bomb train. No,
तुझ्या
someone's
वाली
going to be there.
टाइप मध्ये घेऊ.
माझ्या वाली
Obviously,
टाईप माझ्या फक्त
Inner was
माझा
way too
फरक काय
tempting.
माहितीये काय माझा काहीतरी
आवाज येते काय चुक 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 मार्ग केला तर.
Just got to take that on the chin if you're Falcons.
फरक सांग
It's a bit
तुझ्या
gut-wrenching because
चेअरची.
it's just a moment of
head
helplessness,
adjustment आहे ना,
surely.
ती का
But
ती
hey,
माझी
silver linings.
free direction
Walked
आहे.
away with a few guns.
ओके. आणि माझी बॅक सपोर्ट सांग ना, बॅक
But
सपोर्ट
because that
तुझा
round's
कसा
also so free, I'll take that silver lining back. The cash here on Vitality is looking good.
Yeah, true.
Flamesy tries it again, met by resistance, but he'll still succeed. You were kidding.
Copy and paste.
We thought to ourselves it's because nobody spots him that round gets picked up by Flamesy. Instead, he just charges in, double Mac 10 duel, wins them, and then Mezzi and Zaiwu are presented the next couple of kills. Poor Modesty now. There is nothing to even shoot at, as that bomb will inevitably go down on B off of Rops's excavation of information.
That was looking like a weird decision to
अगर
push
लिंबू
up
फिर
top
वाला
in
गेला
that
काय?
spot instead of
Damn.
just going inner. Because Flamesy gets 2 kills, then he gets info on 2 more players, and they know they just have inner all to themselves.
Zabu. Nice.
Modesty hunting down upgrades. It's a tale that's becoming too common in these last couple of rounds, and Rop's real deep. Means this one's Vitality's lead officially taken. And that man on your screen is a key component of it. 2 rounds back to back, all flamesy.
ये अच्छा है भाई, यू किया है ना उन्होंने, वो देखने में अच्छा लगता है.
Rushes with the same supporting utility. Flamesy probably with the exact right spawn.
और
Just saying,
practical use क्या
send me
है?
out again. Let's
जो
run it
teammate
back.
है ना, वो दूसरे teammate का
Nail the flashes.
screen नहीं देख
ALIBAG's
सकता.
player flash, Kicksan not so much. That was the fairer of the duels.
W भाई, W है वो.
Makes perfect sense to try to push through the train smoke as well to get some map control back, but
मुझे ऐसे नहीं
so
देख
fast
सकता,
in
उसको ऐसे
returning
देखना पड़ेगा.
to the other end. This is a faster tempo though set by the CTs. Kicksan walks in on the action.
Yeah, he's ahead of that Molly.
It looks like he'll catch them off guard.
हाँ वो nice रे.
Back turn to him. Now we get that ramp push. Matt just trying to tether off the push with Nico right behind it. Vitality realizing this is probably not a comfortable avenue of attack.
This is something Falcons specifically were doing early on with Train, taking control like this, and that was very cute.
Sampla aggression भाई, Zaibu गेला Sampla aggression.
Dude, everyone's using spawns to their
अब
best advantage right now.
सिर्फ Falcon ने गड़बड़ की ना तो ही जाएंगे अंदर.
Clean kill out of TSS.
जब तक Zaibu server पे जिंदा है तब तक भाई Apex तोड़ता है.
Down to 1 kid of utility here for the Falcons. Saw on Monacy. But the job is nearly finished already.
ऐसे situation में अभी ropes को बनना पड़ेगा.
Disrespect that smoke just a few seconds ahead of timing. Yeah. It'll be on Falcon's mind, but
see the way they're playing duels, man. This map is like, you can still see Vitality finding good fights.
Monacy's gotten away with this one. A little sanctuary back sight. Feels like that will surely catch Vitality off. Maybe not. Mezzi, insta headshot. Unable to get himself another. Rops' position now well known and no teammates to work with. He's got bomb in 20 seconds.
1v2.
Would have to be the 1v4. 3 left.
3 left? अरे हाँ, Nico भी जिंदा है.
Hit 15 to that clock. He hears the steps inside
इसको
Icon,
मारेगा
so
ये
he'll
doors.
try to get this close kill, knowing that would have been the player to push him on the plant. And it's majority alive here for Falcons. It's a couple rounds previously where they don't really get fair fights, but then they show us that with the rifles at longer ranges, they can keep these duels clean.
I think they must have seen Monacy because they threw a second molly at him. So maybe they got some visual there.
SS ने शायद 3 या 4 के मारे. Kicksan ने 3K with Kicksan. Sorry, SS.
Control C, Control V with the CT attack. Announcing their presence as they take over T-Con control. And in the first round of train games, this was the standard practice. Get this smoked, play inside of it or don't, just force the T's to have to re-clear it before they take outside. This definitely makes sense for Falcons because how much Vitality are coming back to this. We saw them literally try a full-on outer exec and win at sub 30 seconds just a couple rounds ago. The only issue for the CTs is you can't hold it forever. You can't actually stay here. So I think people stopped doing this because it felt like a bluff. But you can see they're trying to piss Vitality off, using a lot of smokes on it.
He's flustered out through T-Con. Nico has to turn over to stop it, and in that moment, it is headshots galore.
The mind games are next level. 3 smokes goes into T-Con control. Vitality know that's atypical. They still have a plan to take it, as if they know that there's going to be a chain smoke coming. A third one, they throw that molly down perfectly. They attack as if they have nothing to worry about, and they find those 2 early fights.
Monacy get Apex. अब 2v3 रह गया. एक और होना चाहिए. ये नहीं दिखता, वहाँ से नहीं दिखता.
It's a map that feels like it's more on tactics than overall strategy. Gaming rotations feels like an afterthought in this in the current meta of Train.
I just save it.
And that could be because of the way the map is truly meant to play. But it also could just be because it's unexplored. We don't know you know, when Fnatic got good on this map early on, then there became the Olaf smoke, which ended up getting thrown every single round, you know, for the rest of the games. It's sandwich smoke as well. Like, there are certain pieces of utility that totally change everything, and it might not have been found yet. The way that you're supposed to defend standard rounds from the CT side.
दुसऱ्या साइडला होतो रे म्हणून नाही दिसत होतं.
Early utility pressure. Flamesy taking a look at it, sees a player top red. Kind of just flirting with the exit. He'll line up the spray though. TeSeS never even given a chance. He'll be on high alert. The Kicksands push forward. Flamesy seemingly well aware. ZywOo takes the fight beyond that. And now with timing, they may have just let this possibility go, but it's just the P250. And now it's both players found out here by Mezzy. A crawl out through Ivy that cannot be contained. You go 4 players pushing forward because of Flamesy and ZywOo's T-Con presence. And now Vitality in a round where they have much better guns are just playing with Falcons. 6-4 made real easy.
Yeah, we get into conditioning territory here for Vitality. And it's also an anti-eco. But sometimes anti-ecos are great rounds to use for places where you'd like normally wouldn't take, like Ivy is just not fun to try to get control of. So hey, around where they don't have much utility to work with, you just throw it in there. So it feels like you go Ivy sometimes.
Guy.
And the less that they end up going Ivy, the less attention that Falcons will give it. The easier it'll be to bring that into the game plan.
ये देखो गद्दार निकला Vitality का fan. भाई टीम चेंज कर ली भाई.
They're trying their hardest to come up with stuff, but it feels like Vitality are just learning live exactly how to deal with it.
Yeah, right. Where one win streak ends, it feels like another may continue. Very comfortable looking T-side. Feels like Mezzy's just been having a field day in these last couple rounds. Nobody's even really shooting back at him with backs turned versus pistols. There's that CT spawn smoke for T-Con. Still drops too late to stop ZywOo from getting one bullet off. And they're gonna make sure nobody presses up close.
ropes की off है ये. इसने वो की थी पहले.
It's one thing to play that Ivy control in the anti-eco like you just mentioned, but now this time TeSeS is still allocated back there. Doesn't have a ton of utility just due to the nature of the economy, but here comes pressure into T-Con. ZywOo's getting burned back and Flamesy dies right in front of him. Very good zoning here offered by Nico and Kicksands. Something that really feels like they've been fighting for multiple rounds, but leave it to Ross to find timing. He slips out. Miss jump.
Nice.
Ooh, that's awkward.
Otherwise, it feels like at the very least, Kicksands would be dead. Instead, Falcons able to not only take the fight on their terms, but then hold off the unexpected Rob's attack.
Device. Scroll wheel na.
Oh, that's a freebie actually. ZywOo going from T-Con back to Ivy.
Arey hero player gela heroic matla.
And they were looking for a fight here. But it's still kind of early into the rounds. Gotta be careful, Falcons.
That's good info. Nico's shooting. Ops just fired. They write off the possibility of a deep corner hold. ZywOo, no second chance on Nico.
Bro.
And so this one gets cleaned up with majority alive. There it is. There's been a lot of positioning for that T-Con duel.
Yeah, man. Nico, Kicksands, that's a nice duo to see approaching this. They've been in the middle of these rounds, not from safe spots, just finding the right timings to do so. Attacking Flamesy and ZywOo, making sure that Flamesy can't come forward with that swing that they used on Nico last time. And Rops is almost a saving grace, but obviously...
easy वाटतोय. POV मध्ये बघून easy वाटतोय गेम रे त्यांच्या.
That helps out Falcons a ton.
पुढे जसं काही normal game death match खेळतोय तो अशा पीक घेतोय.
Strong end here for Vitality economically. That would have been heard.
Molly सीखनी पड़ेगी. लेकिन अपने जो लेवल के प्लेयर से वो जाते नहीं हैं most of the cases.
Yeah, wise to do so.
Last round.
But at least it's good early info. Not only him towards Pop Dog, you
5-7
get Nico up in
6-6.
T-Con, free for the taking.
Feels like with the staging of the round, we get that.
6-6 रहेगा तो जीतेगी
They're
Falcons.
just going to try the upper pop again, but on a late timing.
Come back करना.
Outer, excuse me.
Boom, 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 boom.
Vox, Katowice, 2015. Sexy लग रहे हैं all.
Blast
Rops is getting ready to clear out Pop. So as soon as he starts scaling, then we'll see the full
Ambani.
attack come into place.
Eh?
I think he had to make
India
sure that
मध्ये अंबानी
Kitan
आहे.
had actually left.
Collaboration झालं
Utility to
माहिती
hold
नाही.
back Ivy, and there's been an affinity for it from Vitality in these last couple rounds. Here we go again, announcing the approach. Well-timed peek out of Tesses. Player in the back throwing nades. Guy up front worried about the close play. Monacy, tough shots up close like this, and he misses his second chance. Flamesy takes it to the legs and survives. But you've got Nico at the front of the site. Tesses still holding on to the back line, and Nico doesn't look like he wants to move, but Rops will just drag him out of there. Him and Tesses, and kicks and two.
एवढा काय आलं लेट
Not able. Rops goes huge. Why not? Picks up a quad kill for the road. A
लेना तू
7-5
तू
T-side
क्यों मैक्स
Vitality.
जैसा खेल रहा है भाई वेट करके टीम फाइट कर रही है और ये छुप के बैठा था ये वाले हेडफोन्स क्लास है भाई इनके मेरे नहीं इनके क्योंकि वहां पर दो जो 3 लाइट्स दिखती है ना वो ऐसे ही नहीं जलती एक लाइट जली है तो इसका मतलब नॉइज कैंसिलेशन दूसरी मिडल वाली जली है मतलब माइक यूज कर रहे हैं और तीसरी जली है मतलब साउंड भी आ रहा है तो अभी 2 है तो वो एक ईयरफोन से साउंड सुन रहे तो सिर्फ माइक एंड नॉइज कैंसिलेशन एक्टिव है और हाँ काय
इंडियातले कधी आहे ब्लास्ट मग
इंडियातली काय माहिती इंडियन क्वालिफाय आलं ते आपण खेळू अरे हा हा गेला फोटो काढायला गेला ऍक्टिव्हिश ऑर्डर आली लग्नाची भाई नेट संपला म्हणून घरी आलो मॅच बघायला ऑर्डर टाकून
5-7
काय रे जा ऑर्डर करून ये
राहील रे थांब हा मॅप
अरे मग नंतर चांगला जेव्हा डिसाइडर मॅप असेल तेव्हा येशील
मी थोडे ना तेवढा थांबणार आहे मी जास्त 15 मिनिटं फटफट फटफट
तुमचे फोटो गेले उडत गेले म्हणा आमची मॅच राहिली
सीटी ठीक आहे रे टीटी म्हणजे काय सीजे तालिबान टेररिस्ट
तालिबान
ए मॅक हे बघ हे
चॅट मध्ये करते रे एक जण
हाँ
दिस इज सिटी मॅप और टीटी तर टी सिटी तर ठीक आहे काउंटर टेररिस्ट
Terrorist,
टीटी म्हणजे काय
टेररिस्ट
टेररिस्ट कसा काय तालिबान टेररिस्ट
सही का सही तालिबान टेररिस्ट
लिंक पाठवले बघ हा पिक्चर बघ
तुम्ही बघितलंस मी पिक्चर वाटवलेलं
हो आज मी 4-5 पिक्चर बघितले भाई
कसा वाटला मस्त आहे ना
मस्त आहे मस्त आहे मस्त आहे. बिचारीचा हात लय भारी निघतो पण खटकन डायरेक्ट हात तुटतो भाई
तेजाला पण देतो पिक्चर
कोणता कोणता
हिट पिक्चर हिट साऊथ तर माहिती आहे काय तारा म्हणतो पांढरे
हे काय
गाण्याचा आहे बघ तो
हे काय बोललास
मॅक परत बोल
अरे अंदाज पण ते बोललो त्याच्यात पण
अरे ते नाही का त्याचा पिक्चर येणार होता ते रंडी के औलाद काहीतरी
अरे हे
तो नाही ते तो नाही
तोच आहे ना
तो नाही तो दुसरा पिक्चर आहे तो वायकिंग टाइप आहे अरे तो नानी माहिती असेल ना सीजेस नॅचरल स्टार
हाँ
त्याचा पिक्चर आहे मस्त पिक्चर आहे
अच्छा
डार्क वेब बेस आहे
अरे नाही त्याला तो माहिती असेल ना हे अस्मित तुला तो माहिती का तो सॅटर्डेला राग
हा तोच तर बोलते तांदरे
Couldn't have said it better myself. 4-1 currently in pistol round wins are Falcons in this series. So if there's been any edge, it's starting half strong. Let's see if they can do that here on the attack of map 3. Someone's taking an advantage at the end of this one.
This series could definitely come down a train. Let's see if Vitality can end the debate about whether or not
No
Falcons
hate, bro,
could have won
either.
it last time.
On stream.
Still 13-9, I think it felt.
Matches
Had
पे
rounds
हाथ
to play
किधर गए?
with.
Yes. Dead on.
Hey, Mac.
Pump fake. Throwing smokes outside, but getting ready to hit B site from above. Robs is going to have his hands full. Sees that second volley of util versus Monacy. Keeps it clean. Players fall down onto site, but because ramp is stopped, he had a little room to work with in cover. Okay, because of the fire, it delays the Z take. Here's Magisk, back turns to him. What's he want here?
Too long.
He drops the shot. He's at least able to recover, and now they know about this nuisance. There's another layer to this, though. Kicksan's coming around through CT spawn. Apex has gotten the kill. He can straight up defuse this.
They don't know.
They don't know, but there is nobody here to stop it. Both these T's on the opposite side from bomb. He's got to get on top of it. And now Kicksan, desperate to close this distance. 5 seconds on the defuse, makes the jump, sitting duck, slays him.
Okay, swinging from the ladder. Sonic got his hands on his face. All good.
भाई
Man, 2 players coming in on that lurk, and Nico pushing all the way up so early. It had Vitality so confused.
Kicksan on time भाई.
Making me nervous
1-1.5 सेकंड बचा होगा.
shot.
इतने टाइम में मार
Just
दिया.
as we saw, as they exit, they're going to just be suddenly looking at him incidentally. And it could get scary.
That is 5-1 in pistol rounds now. Already on site fast, so fast.
Oh,
that
they're
the
getting crushed.
CT stuff it. MP9s just
Bro.
run
अरे
rampant.
flames ही साले
Outer smashed. That is tempo, but it's also Monacy to bring this back. Apex and Mezzi through smoke.
Oh, that's a gift for Vitality. 2 of those kills at the end through the smoke, and they run up through E-Box, shut him down with the MP9s. This is Falcons trying to do what Vitality have been doing in all their games, but they don't have it the same way. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Okay. Monacy tries his damnedest to bring it all back. Mezzi gets another one through the smoke.
Smoke, USP headshot from Apex. They just don't think they can be beat. That's the thing.
Vitality loves that. I mean, we keep moving the goalposts for this team. We have to remember that this is a Vitality that as they arrived in Copenhagen, there was people in the community thinking like, yeah, wildcard could cause this upset. You know, after all the success of Vitality, just by nature of being exhausted from winning. But I think when you taste victory to the degree that Vitality has, you become addicted to it. And I mean, how many times do you see Zywoo fist pumping and vocally cheering as they win these rounds to Falcons? You have crested the mountain, but you don't get to the top and then not want to push the ceiling even further.
Flamesy
Yeah,
और
just looking
Mezzi
for the
दो
next
लोग
highest
खेल
peak.
रहे.
And I mean,
Magisk and
even though
Nico
they
भाई कुछ
have
भी
beaten
यार.
the Liquid streak, that streak
Carry
can
नहीं
still
कर रहा है
continue.
Zywoo. Fake तारीफ मत करो उससे.
Everest is Nip, obviously.
The further you
Idhar
push it, the
Zywoo ne
longer it
round
will
nikale bhai.
stand. You look at
Idhar.
that streak, you know, the 10 longest
Train mein.
streaks. Astralis are the only team that show up in there twice because they show up in there 3 times. Their win streaks became so common, but sometimes you never get to see these sorts of runs again.
Nice
TSS Eagle kill
bro.
entry. Robs eats the flashbang
they didn't
fully.
see him.
He's lucky he regains vision in time. Kicksan kind of loses track of that. And unfortunately here for TSS,
Hey, one more.
2 is all he'll find. Flamesy hot to the fight. Vitality rack up another.
Aces का aim तो है भाई, proper aim.
It's going to be a lot more death matching as this game goes on, especially if Falcons want to try those upper pops like Vitality did to them in the first half. You know, with the 2 G2
Right,
players
Apex
that
has
are
been.
Nico and Monacy, there is a valid argument to say that that style of play is perfect for them. They've even got a better, you know, 3 other players beside them to be able to pull off those insane sort of death ball entry rounds that they could execute versus any team.
Speaking of death balls, here's Falcons with pistols in upper.
This is a great anti-eco setup. It's perfect for the MP9. Early information to help out B. Very hard to approach without utility for the T side.
What's Nico up to?
Just getting info.
Okay. Just hanging around.
Just looking for clues, and I think that because he doesn't see any push, they're worried about this specific setup now, but they don't have much to work with, so.
Tess has to go first. I'm gonna try to chase him down. He's looking to live. Nade on kicks in, almost gets the job done. And he'll just send it. Tries to make a truce, but no prisoners here. Vitality, double digits, 10-6. And the runway is within eyesight. Vitality looking to take off in this series to the 2-1 lead to prove that the train win in Australia was no anomaly.
They're the most dominant train team. It's not like they're bringing so much innovation that like everybody's just, you know, in the wake of the ideas and are getting shot on the side of the head. They're just out-dueling everybody at every step of the way. T and CT side right now.
You know, we don't question Vitality's map pool. It's obviously not as in-depth as their Inferno, but it is a key part to their success that they've been able to win this. No losses as of yet. Oh, Magis almost gets the timing on that one. And because he gets so far, maybe they would have thought nobody's here, but Flamesy now announces himself, draws them forward. This Crossfire's killer. He's gonna try to run, comes back at it, and holds Kixan away.
You could say the timings were very fine, but they also were jiggle spotting both together at different moments.
Perfect.
Like they were covering each other beautifully.
You know, it's not some grand tactic that we think, wow, Vitality have cooked this up, but it does show that even within the minute details of the newest map in the pool, Vitality are finding a way to get the edge.
Left
and there's
side.
consistency that's coming with that. So this one's an easy cleanup, damn near mirrored setup, this time versus guns, and it goes down just as smooth.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Vitality have that. They do have that 2018 Astralis era.
Let's go.
Aura, not even era at the moment. This is so well played out of Flamesy. Even the fallback, and you just see how good he is in moments like these when he's pressured a ton. A second to get the reload off, has to pick the he pulls off and hits the instant headshot on a Kixan. Now they can feel it. They're probably frustrated, confused after Inferno.
मैंने बोला था भाई.
Suddenly become a totally different day.
5-7 होगा तो comeback करना थोड़ा
defeat has become such a foreign flavor.
6-6 होता तो बात कुछ अलग.
Vitality just want to bounce back as fast as possible. Looking good, if not for the Tech 9. Good pressure.
There's an op.
Not over yet. Zywoo's op exchanges hands. Magis wants the rifle instead. Unfortunately for him, he goes down with nothing more. Falcons try to crank that dial.
ये गया map. 12-6.
There's no denying it caught Vitality off, but they recovered well. And that Desert Eagle from Monacy gets away from him. It is a Vitality on fire with 6 map points.
Crazy. After their last match, I thought the one thing we'd see different is Falcons improving. If we also saw Vitality improving, sure, but with Magic having a much better event, it felt like the upset was imminent. I'm wondering how much more fun can Vitality have, man.
Yeah, I think a victory like this, just like a clean sweep of a half, that's going to do them a lot of good psychologically going forward in this best of 5, to know you will have 2 maps fully to try to close this. Our analyst desk wasn't as convinced with Vitality's Mirage. That's where we go next. So maybe the question does kind of bounce back to Vitality and their improvements. Whether they can really keep a meter between them and Falcons is the question. You know, if this is the team in the pool that's pushing you the most, and you can suddenly win versus them more convincingly, then that win streak is truly alive and strong.
And the best B anchor on the map just got an op.
Uh-oh.
Wonder how they approach him now. I mean, this is the spot that he's the best at by far. But no Z rotator right now. Bomb coming closer. The exec comes in. I feel like he's pretty safe up here, you know, from a lot of utility.
But the Mosh.
And Apex is now getting closer. Oh, they take out Tessus and the exec comes.
Two op frags. No challenge here for Vitality so far. CT side, damn near perfect. It was that pistol in Falcon's back pocket that would have led you to believe this T side had legs to stand on. But ever since the force buy win comes through, Vitality have not looked in that rear view mirror. All done, almost crushed. Absolutely perfect, if not just playing with their food. A 2-1 lead in this best of 5.
ओए 92 है बाल
काय है
काय नाही
यार एफ हो गया 2-1 से वाइटलिटी जीत रही है इसका
साधारण
प्राइस
ये येते 15-20 मिनिटात.
हाँ ये प्राइस बढ़ा नाइस कैजुअल में जाता हूँ चलो बड़े दिनों बाद कैजुअल में 24 भाई की अभी तक रैंक नहीं है शायद इसके बाद रैंक आ जाएगी जस्ट टू कैजुअल
कौन है आई तक आलाय
आधा घंटा है अभी नेक्स्ट मैच
यार भाई याद है हम कॉपी खेल रहे थे साथ नेक्स्ट मैच
नए क्रॉसर से खेलते हैं अरे खत्म हो गया जीत भी गए 20 मिनट है 20 मिनट में हम क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें हम बिगमैन ट्राई कर सकते हैं बिगमैन की रैंक ओपन कर सकते हैं गैलरी केस अभी कितने में है कितने में है परफेक्ट टाइमिंग है बाय करने का गैलरी केस इन्वेस्टमेंट टिप्स परफेक्ट टाइम टू बाय अ गैलरी केस किधर गया रे केस सात 3,000 ओके मतलब कितने के आइटम्स मिल रहे हैं अभी 3,000 2,000 1,000 ओके ओके 900 भाई प्रॉफिटेबल तो है भाई यार किधर है लेकिन मेरे को देखना था गैलरी कलेक्शन नहीं रही गैलरी केस गैलरी केस ये रही 73 रुपीज़ की है वो 150 तक जाने वाली है जब वो डिसकंटिन्यू हो जाएगी ना तब और होने वाली है डिसकंटिन्यू जल्दी होने वाली है तो इज द राइट टाइम जितना लोएस्ट मिल सके बाय कर लो थर्ड पार्टी पे तो और अच्छे कीमत पे मिल जाएगी मेरे को अकेले ही खेलना है क्योंकि इसका पिंग देखो फीवर के 60 रुपीज़ गिरने वाली है वो There is no stopping us, bro. डिसकंटिन्यू नंतर वो ड्रॉप नहीं होगी इन गेम फिर उसकी प्राइस बढ़ेगी अरे
Pay to win game.
you have gun reload wow 98 he was 98 you noob
My ping, man.
bro at least hit one
No, my
one.
ping, man.
Restart man restart
1600 ping.
where are you from
Okay, I restart game. काय झालं रे
अरे 98 मारला आणि त्याने अख्खे 2 मॅगझिन संपवली त्याच्यावर 2 HP चा होता तो मला सांगितलं असतं सांगितलं पाहिजे होतं ना मी आलो असतो विंगमैनला अरे जोहान भाई ऐसे ही देखा यार 22 मिनट्स दिखा रहा है तो वो लोग क्या कर सकता हो विंगमैन को लगा दिया ए काय झालं
चांगला भेटू दे
काय FIFA खेळतोस अरे यहाँ से मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हुआ तो मैच कैंसिल हो जाएगी या फिर
लेट्स गो
सर फिक्स नहीं था कि विंगमैन खेलने वाला हो अभी 14 मिनट बाकी है 14 मिनट के अंदर हो जाएगा मेरा वेलकम बैक
Bro, my ping still 1600. I don't know what's going on. Let's go.
Made one.
Pay to win game. काय बोलतोय?
हे खेळतोय CS खेळतोय
हॅलो
1 year शॉर्ट शॉर्ट
माझी किती स्कोर आहे रे?
विंगमॅन खेळतोय मॅच ऑप्शन
अपेक्षा येते का रे कोण?
हा येईल ना
बघ
अपेक्सलाच आहे हो मी.
कुठं गेलता?
नाही गेला.
16-4
आता आमच्या 11ला जाते.
कुठं चाललाय?
हे ऑर्डर सोडून आले मॅच बघायला.
इच्छा कुठे गावातच आहे?
हो.
काय टेन्शन आहे?
डेटा
At
पॅक
least drop
संपला
me
रे
then.
मग मॅच पॉज झाली मग त्याला बोललो मी येतोय.
FC 25 खेळतोय भाई.
पाहिलंय रे तो म्हणून.
काय रे? चल रे बायले. बायले. काय आहे? पुढं काय? बायले बोलते तुला तर काय आता?
अरे मग टीम मध्ये पोरी घेऊन खेळतोय.
काय? पोरी घेऊन खेळतोय बायला का?
क्या बोल
येणार ना नल्ला. पॉइंट भेटले तर नेक्स्ट टाइमला बाकी.
अरे यार अरे नहीं यार क्या टाइम था यार इतना देर में रुका हुआ था अरे
गेट टीम ऑफ द वीक हड हड हे तर लेच मागे अरे स्वरूप आलो मी
Low HP.
just
ओ बँडी हे 5 संपायला किती टाइम आहे बघ स्वरूप
नको 2च दिवस आहेत.
असं आहे काय नेक्स्ट टाइमचा पास घेतो भाई 1000 झाले अपेक्स कॉइन तिथं आधी लगेच म्हणते नको 2च दिवस आहेत 40
We must work together. Throw the decoy.
अरे कसा भेटलाय रे ब्रो मी बघतोय तिथे तर तू पण तिथे काय येतोस भाई साइट मध्ये आहे अरे मला कशाला बोलतोस
या सगळ्यांनी या
96 in 6 नसीब ही खराब है
वो भाई पोरगी है
ये कैसे आया यार
सोडून येणार होतो पण आता नाही येणार सोडून काम पड
मला बायला म्हणते लाज वाटते का तुला
दोघं पर अरे
लाज वाटू दे
ए डोंट लीव मी
नौ मिनट है अभी तक। बैक इन 2 मिनट्स। क्या बात है, क्या बात है। बॉट्स कितने हैं देखो। इतने बैड बॉट्स क्यों है भाई सर्वर पे। लिटिफाई अलग ही स्वैग में है भाई, लिटिफाई अलग ही स्वैग में रहता है। कोई नहीं है। प्लेयर है किधर।
आलो ये इविल आलो रे। इंडी जोड़ पे नहीं आते, जोड़ पे नहीं खेलता।
ओ मी अरे स्विच क्यों किया अस्मित गलत टाइम पे। सी मैटर। इंटरव्यू चालू है एक सेकंड का। अरे 92 इन 3 बुलेट लगी थी। पाँच मिनट है अभी भी। ये मोड अच्छा है यार कैजुअल में। अभी हमारे पार्टी में लोग हैं ना तो भाई फुल वॉल है ना भाई। मैं बता सकता हूँ मैक्टिविश मिड में है, डोर के पास फुल मतलब अलग ही सीन है कैजुअल। वर्थ इट नहीं है रे। through यार smoke. Bot है क्या यहाँ पर?
I made short.
नहीं है.
D.
वापस की साइड चल.
नहीं.
क्या लिखा है? लिटिफाई नहीं जरा देखूँ तो मैं. आ गए वापस आ गए. -3 रेटिंग. भाई इनको मारा था भाई हमने. MG2 MGE.
Clutch.
11 बज गए रे.
And as soon as they know that that plan A is getting stopped in its tracks, they have a great plan B.
And I think that's also one of the strengths that Kixen has right now, and which has also been praised for, is that he's good at changing up the pace. Like, if they get off to a good start, if they win and the pistol convert, and he can actually start, you know, dictating the game, he can manipulate the rounds, he can put up fakes of what he's previously done, he can start doing rushes, he can go back to playing very, very slow. You know, keeping this constant guessing game for Vitality is something that's going to be also going to be crucial for this game.
It's going to be tough, though, because I think Vitality are just deeper, in my opinion. Like, I think they have a lot of different opening variations. They're a little bit more diverse on how they can appropriate things. And you talk about how great Kix's been calling is. Well, Apex is too. And this squad has been together for 5 months now, and they definitely know each other through thick and thin and understand how to thrive in chaos, how to make something out of nothing, how to pivot. And so I do think that that's an issue that, you know, Falcons are certainly going to face, is handling just how much diversity this team can bring to the table.
I'm
I
not
love that you
teacher
brought up the
Altix
depth,
why?
because that's where I feel like it's going to go in the other
I
side.
don't know.
I think that this is actually where Vitality end the series, because in that Melbourne one of the reasons the mid-rounding worked so well is because, in my eyes, Vitality in some rounds were playing not to lose. Like, they would get the opening pick, and they'd all kind of shrink back. But because they're playing in a studio, they've already got the streak, they've already got the Grand Slam, now they can just free themselves up. They're in a 5v4, and Flames wants to push towards A-ramp. I think they're going to let him. I think he's going to just take that sort of space. I don't think he's going to shy away from it, because the pressure in some ways is already off their shoulders, and now they have the freedom to know they're up 2-1 in the series.
I think that we've seen that multiple times, not only on the last map, but also by going all the way back to Inferno. We saw Saiwu going for like the questionable by pushing with the USP alone. Around in top mid, where I was like about to what is actually going on. It seems like they're playing freely. They're playing without like a little bit of the pressure, because as you've mentioned, they've gotten the two things going for them. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be difficult. And I paid attention to the Falcons had like a prolonged huddle, like, you know, before going into this one. You know, I am pretty sure that they were having a brief talk about that. Now, like, we know that we can beat them in this one. We need to, like, you know, just cool off a little bit and just believe that what we have actually in the books can actually make us over the finish line.
I think the Ziwu factor is another big one we have to talk about, though, because not only has his opping been on point in comparison to Monesi throughout the series, but he also just has an entry AK threat that Monesi just doesn't quite have. It's not that Monesi's not a good rifler. He is. I think he's great as a trader and great as a defender, but I do think Ziwu is that X factor to help you even have that additional entryman, and that's going to be a big factor this game as well.
Well, for Vitality, they may now be seeing the light at the end of this long best-of-5 tunnel, and that light, it glints gold. Almost as gold as the watch on Mohan's wrist. Take it away, Scrawny and Launders.
Damn, flexing on him.
I forgot it.
Nothing. Broke ass. Here we go. Mirage, one more time. And what do you think of the desk's thoughts on this one, Mo? Do you think that they've highlighted the win conditions appropriately?
I'm with Dust for sure. Vitality have a deeper playbook. I think it's nice to have a grand final, though. Like, when it was G2 and it was Monesi and Nico, we had to highlight, like, the calls weren't good. You know, the calls weren't good. Yeah. Some of their game plan was too simplified. I think Kicksan's bringing the better version, which is a simple game plan, but not overly simple. Not one where they five-man something and don't have the rest of the map control. They are better at keeping options open, but they still will go for the full site execs 5v5. Definitely more mid-control focused. And a lot more tactics. I think we'll have an interesting thing here between what Robs can do on Cat and what Flamesy will do on T side in the B apartments, putting pressure on. And yeah, they'll have a much more varied attack and defense. But that definitely doesn't mean that Falcons can't win. And here we already see they're going in for some early info, but it's a fast A attack coming in.
Just Mezzy to lean back on bench. Gives it a second glance as he waits for those smokes to pop. Zywu trying to find timing on the spam. And it gets away from him. Mezzi, though, two heads turned for a split second. Had a chance to sideline a couple players for free. Now Apex has the answer, but it only comes in the form of one kill from him, and Falcons follow through with that clinical execution. Smokes down, flashes where they need to be. Everything looked a little awkward for Vitality there, and Falcons, given the space, just follow through smoothly.
Yeah, it's just a pretty great call here. It's a site that they're playing retake on, and they get so early. Even though the push is pretty quick over on the other side of the map, it doesn't matter. This isn't a round where Vitality are waiting and searching and going for mid before they go for the air.
अभी एक्टिव लोगों में से Stroud तो शायद रिटायर हो गया है. कॉम्पिटिटिव लेवल से रिटायर है रे. गेम अपने गेमर बोला यार. प्लेयर, बेस्ट प्लेयर.
And of course, we know what it is with those CT duels. They can go either way, but
Falcons
were there first. So when you get these, whoever has CT control retains it, they have the better advantage in the fights.
Not enough answer back. Falcons just trying to maintain that hyper focus we saw the attack Inferno with. Understanding that the job now has to be finished on the final map of this series.
Uh-oh. Missed that window smoke. Not the time to miss some grenades.
No resistance behind it though. Vitality not looking like they want to test the waters in middle.
Yeah, they have a pretty decent buy, but they don't have a lot of utility fighting into middle. They're playing pretty actively within the A site, however.
Smoke.
For the record, Falcons 6-1 in pistol rounds this series. The only asterisk is that
is Hunter still calling?
On that force buy, they lost one. And the same thing could happen here. Not again. This is how it went down in the second half of Train.
second half Train तो second map मतलब पिस्टल जीते और दूसरा वो गया ना मैचेस अकेला था
Flamesy obviously still thinking about the possibility.
यार
what a perfect wrap back around.
Wow.
क्या throw है भाई ये.
Just sticks the barrel to the back of Nico, who was worried about exactly that. But he thought maybe he'd play inside the smoke, hide in a corner.
He also had to watch the whole site at the same time. So, oh man, that is so frustrating and actually amazing for Flamesy to do this. But as he brought up, you can win as many pistols as you want, but it's really about those conversions.
round answer one round जीत ले ना.
And honestly, were good.
They had a
game changing round.
There was 3 players in the site, 2 players
वो निकल गया ना connector से भी.
It wasn't a full-on stack here over on air. But the one smoke, Falcons felt like they had to run through.
Flamesy laughing all the way to the bank off that one.
Those are the rounds where he can really show off how creative he is. And like, these decisions are not textbook by any means, right? But it's a round where we're on a low buy. We're not expected to win. I can make a move where I dip into a smoke, even though my teammates are on site relying on me, because people have to play for themselves a little more, and those are the moments that Flamesy really thrives.
I mean, look no further than some of those outer entries on Train for his ferociousness. Somebody who, like a moth to the flame, is no stranger to running risks. This time, oversteps maybe. Top stairs, that single rifle with the Galil on the other side. Those 2 rifles, what you want to get the ball rolling. It's a matter of whether it can follow through with the round window, and ZywOo does great damage on this scout, killing Kingzan, thrusting the Galil to the dirt for now, finishing Magisk, so there's no real site control. And, well, Falcons see that as an invitation to take jungle. How do they slow this round down to maintain control?
Yeah, you would want to have a top con smoke so that you can plant opposite default or back of triple, but instead they've taken over control of it, not seeing anybody. Now it's actually scary for them to cross back, as we can see. And the idea that they go B, well, I think that's actually expired as well, because now they have to get through spawn. Mezzi's already watching it, and this is where the flank actually comes in. So, little weird here from Falcons, but they still have the chance to get to B, just a longer route.
Another tag.
Wow, man.
ZywOo's scout, really the hero of this round.
And he'll get another chance, even another one.
Those starts to miss, and that opening has allowed for the bomb to go running out. Absolutely had to hit that shot. The phone catches ZywOo off guard. He's going to survive on 8. This Desert Eagle's the reason the bomb has gone down. And then he misses, much like that ZywOo scout. Here comes Robs to try to bail them out with 100 health. TeSeS is the reason that we're standing here in a post plant. TeSeS tries to find them. He gets away from him, but he still connects. And now it's low health here for ZywOo. Finishes it off. 3 to TeSeS. His T-side's impeccable.
Critical impact out of TeSeS, man. Unreal that he even hits that one deagle shot as he enters into the site. This round was damn near impossible. Killing back onto Cat was the only option that they had, and ZywOo even spotted them and tagged them. If he had hit one more shot, and he had already hit like 6 of them, then it wouldn't have even resulted in a cross. But just incredible deagle work from TeSeS. You can see it from our perspective, no telling which side of that pillar they were going to peek from. But his read is perfectly correct.
Much needed headshot as well there for Rops, who comes into the retake with the 100 HP and the better gun. You could spam ZywOo out of the round, but it needed to be clean on Rops, and was. But Vitality opt to go in for another force buy, thinking maybe the money's low, and the buys are nearly mirrored. Definitely a slight edge here for Falcons, but if these force buys have taught us anything, it's that this one's on a knife's edge.
They want to avoid this ZywOo in general, it feels like, at all costs.
Next map
what we're going to pay attention to is the anchor series. If he decides to go towards B, then
ये Falcon हारी तो भाई उनका ही मैप
he's starting to get into Palace.
और गॉड लेवल खेलते हो, आना ही चाहिए ये मैप. लेकिन अभी के जो टैक्टिक्स है ना वो गलत है. Falcon के.
Rops is an interesting spot. Doesn't want to push in case
उनका
there
जो
is that
default play
lurker.
ना वो नहीं है.
And
आज कुछ तो गलत कर रहे हैं या फिर कुछ तो नया ट्राई करने की
Looks like Magisk at the very least is with him. 3 players.
Oh yeah, he's on the ramp. Oh no, here. Okay, all good. But Rob's gonna spawn, and he does get away safe. 48 HP.
Right, not half bad considering the spam that it looked like he took. Tries to hold off ramp. TeSeS finds a quick entry. And then a missed scout shot from ZywOo as that Mac-10 looks rambunctious. Magisk connects with his. Scout's not ideal. Mezzy down after just the 1 kill. And so the Flamesy 5-7 versus 3's up next. Under balcony is m0NESY, and we've got Falcons recovering from that stumble in the second. 3-1, their early lead.
Yeah, real solid stuff on this reapproach towards the A site. Excellent call. And again, they're trying the A stuff. Like, the game plan is overall like more simple. They're fighting it to middle control, to be fair, in some of these rounds, not seeing anything just yet for Vitality.
Hello?
Oh, very clear who's going to step up to the plate early with TeSeS at 6-2.
Yeah, TeSeS could have changed the course of the series, to be honest. That was a moment where I feel like Falcons just feeling the hangover from the last map of just, oh, like, how did we just get crushed on train? We were probably feeling pretty good into starting off Mirage by losing the second round.
You know, it was m0NESY who steps into the server tonight as the highest rated player at this event. That has since changed, surpassed by ZywOo ever so slightly. We see him starting strong, but dying out to a USP, not where he wants to be. Luckily for them, easy cleanup more or less. ZywOo, don't you dare.
Everyone on this team, I swear.
2 USP kills, not supposed to happen. AK and Galil saved, but 4-1 T-side nonetheless.
That is still, yeah, pretty successful round. They get those 3 kills.
You think you mean?
Only dies because that USP is empty. Give him a few more bullets. Who knows what comes next?
P2K?
Maybe. Maybe. Vitality bringing guns to the table.
Oh man, That's one way to go, TSS.
Thoughts on
Threw
that?
that early flash and thought that it wasn't still being watched. This is also Kazaiwu never shot this op in this round so far. But that raw duel, that's just such a clean 5v4 here for Vitality, and they immediately take space after that too.
Yeah, they're going to take over Palace, not with just Rops alone, seeing as last time he met 3.
You just create so much space by taking over a place like, oh, okay, actually one back on jungle. I don't even know
Deep angle
where.
from Catwalk.
Oh, he was up in ladder room.
Yeah, that'd make more sense.
But if they go back to A, 2 players are in halls right now. And Zaiwu actually gets the kill that pushes him in this direction.
Not going to let them get any eyes on that B bomb site. So at 35 with the execution smokes coming over, and that effectively cuts Nico out of this unless he wants to chance through smoke. He doesn't know what's waiting for him. He'll come out onto the stairs. Still, nobody holding Palace, and the fact that there's 2 players up here looks like it will catch them off. Maybe only one needed. Nico finally hits top stairs, but there's Rops. That last layer of defense. Flamesy yet again, just significant piece of this A success.
And it's such a good example. Well, first of all, Zaiwu helps out a ton by getting this first kill. Nice and calm as soon as TSS wants to expand on B. And then the second one. Both are as critical, honestly. But the fact is, they took over Palace control after the first kill. It's sort of the irony of map control. It's easier to do when it's 5v4, and it could be less, but it's also like less valuable to do when it's 5v4. But in a spot like this, and versus teams of this caliber, sometimes a 5v4 isn't good enough by itself. And that kind of shows us how it's an ace in the hole if they can find space on the other side of the map just as they get a kill at the same time. And this could be a read that, you know, Falcons, when they have a lurk, they're not doubling the lurks. Sometimes they're showing some information early and then committing to the same idea a lot later on. You've got to be ready for Vitality to make brazen plays.
570 का पैकेट लॉस है भाई.
Really allowed for Falcons to have a lot of space in mid, I find.
Yeah, tons. I think they haven't had the guns, though.
I was thinking to myself how long this would go on. They start with an early Zaiwu post, but even that is time sensitive.
This is where we look at Rops, because he's just been an incredible cat player for Vitality. He's honestly bringing this position sort of back into meta more than ever, and a lot of players are really getting a lot out of this spot playing it solo.
Just looking for this timing on the jump up, just missed it. Would have found that. Still finds the player down. Oh no, TSS.
He needs to swing out a little bit to get the fight.
Tries to just get an angle, instead slips off that little lip. And all the while, Mezzi still just holding off, right? Patient about this play. Modesty's gonna try to challenge. Beautiful headshot on Rops. Mezzi looks to strike within that timing from the bottom of Vitality's scoreboard. Doesn't leave, lines them up. And it's a Desert Eagle spam from Magisk that's short-lived. TSS still bottom middle, looking for something to pull on, but he doesn't have bomb possession at 30 seconds. And Vitality have eyes on this smoke, so it seemed. Flamesy thinking about it, gets the better of him, and Vitality cut that lead down to 1 round real quick.
And then it'll be TSS on the other side that will put on a Rops impression, I think, with how he takes duels. But the setup is excellent. I mean, they have Mezzi on the other side of Bricks, which they just don't expect, because sometimes it'll just be Rops here. And Zaiwu in the back of the site once again. The op has been on B very often. When he's scouting, he's on A. When he's opping, he's on B. Connor, this is going to be the first close game of the series.
You think so?
We're going to get double digits for both teams.
Whoa.
Maybe even in overtime.
Settle down. I think if you were to ask Apex, he'd have other ideas.
What if he asked Nico?
He would also say this will be lopsided.
I'm the only unbiased person here.
I was thinking about that, watching the KRL pop-offs. We obviously have the co-streams in the studio for this event, trying to big up the whole rivalry element of the show. There's no crowd, Modesty. There's no crowd to help you. There are people cheering at home, I don't deny that.
Real Modesty fans watch the demos.
At the end of the day, I was like, what would it be like to be KRL where you can just scream 100% bias? Hang on. Was that trying to play for info or trying to tell us what was about to go down? Because with a Glock and no armor, m0NESY has suddenly put 2 M4s in the hands of Falcons.
We're talking no armor on this.
We're talking nothing on this. They limp into this round with Glocks. m0NESY lets us know, alludes to the success he's gonna find, and pulls that out of the hat. Double market retake, Magis making the best of the M4. Now they've got to come in from one direction. This is the round that they had no business winning, the most lopsided in all of the buys. And of all the rounds we've witnessed, this is his. m0NESY with the double Glock entry.
He took his time. That's why he took his time. There was a plan all along, and the burst Glock of all things to get the second frag. No armor and a win for Falcons.
Make sense of that.
60 by one side.
It's an empty magazine on Arch.
I have no idea how the.
Hey, replay दिखना है
first kill.
1 2
That one's a little bit weird to explain because the guy on Get Right is using his whole mag. His teammate gets 2 kills, and I guess he just needed, like, there was no way for him to fight back when he was reloading, but thought he had an extra second. Well, that's a rare situation. Nice shots, m0NESY.
Zabardast.
There's sometimes it's a beat take, and I'm like, they could have had better spots.
Yeah.
This is a spot maybe the first guy, if he's going to use all his ammo, kill somebody with
He
it.
did. Rob's got 2 kills from Arch. It was Mezzy who came out window that dies with nothing.
Mezzy got nothing.
Yeah.
I see.
But I'm not sure where he was holding before he, you know, kind of gets just rolled over by m0NESY.
Yeah.
We'd have to watch it back.
But he's the window pillar.
Yep. A Glock.
Hey, mate, Nico.
We're dazed. Okay. Well, ZywOo doesn't care. He's still just opping.
As is Rops this round. So double op setup changed here from Vitality in the 9th.
Oh, Ropes के पास op भाई खतरनाक combo है Ropes ops. भयानक चल तो भाई
Best team in
बेकार.
the world just lost to no armor.
1 burst Glock, double headshot, point blank
ये
upside the
situation
head.
है Ropes.
You'll love to see it.
Carry करने
Flames his approach to Palace. Ooh, they get jumbled up. Apex tries to like force him in, and in that moment, Magis just feasts. This was man advantage Vitality for a moment. ZywOo's still out there floating with the op, but a retake's not likely with the double op setup. And m0NESY is keeping these headshots rolling. Rops and Mezzy layer up. And now all of a sudden, it's him versus Kicksan in the clutch. That offer is meant to be holding the angle.
Took a few fast steps.
Dude, Rops able to close this gap. And what? Oh, he thinks he's walking around. What did Rops think was happening?
Nice,
no, dude. No clue, actually.
Nice.
I'm actually so confused about that one.
Barrel की वजह से round आया.
He thought he went around default?
I guess he thought he was walking around the base of the stairs. Because he heard him step sandwich, no doubt.
हाँ बोल.
Well, this game's got some weird rounds.
Like Kicksan's even like shocked by the fact he comes stepping.
And ZywOo just doesn't care, man. He just keeps fragging.
You just said that.
2-1.
And it reigns true again.
Go to the next rounds like it never happened. Nothing ever even happened. He's like a dink. He's like, eventually I'm gonna get these kills and we're gonna win. I mean, they're not gonna win this round.
Well, you say that, but they also weren't supposed to win with Glocks on the Falcon side of things. USP just tickling Nico for only 30 damage, and all the while Tess senses a great opening in that B site to guarantee the round. Magis gonna run that bomb in. ZywOo may have kicked it off with a clean window kill back to back. However, the rest of the squad dying with nothing. And so this half is getting tidied up real quick. Bask in his glory.
If you watch just ZywOo's POV this game, Vitality haven't lost a round.
Easy वाटतो यार. ZywOo's POV बघितलं.
He doesn't even know what's going wrong. He's getting openings, multis, scout shots, off shots.
Nico. और नीचे ZywOo है. Indian हो जाएगा.
हे मार हवा इथे 1 HP 1 HP
Spotted
1
there,
HP
right? Yeah.
हा 1 HP
जायवूला तो दिसला ना
Oh, okay.
Kicksan was about to get owned.
Yeah.
कसा दिसेल त्याला
And dealt with.
टाकलं दिसलं की एवढं.
What happened to that close map you promised?
It's still going to be close. In fact, Falcons needed to win these rounds in order for it to be close.
Oh, okay.
This has definitely been the weirdest one so far.
Yeah, Apex not too happy with the way things are going. We heard him
I kind of like it.
mid-round. All we need to do is stick to the
Headspot
original
झालेला
plan, he said.
टी रूम मध्ये
That was
जायवूला
the round that he kind of
काय
jumbled up
बोलतो
on
टीव्ही रूम
Flamesy in the
मधला निको
Palace.
Yeah, that was so awkward. And I think that follow through
शायद
from
उस-
Flamesy is
त्याला
because he was
दिसला
trying to
नसेल.
be the best teammate
आला
possible.
आला आला
But he knew he was dead when he lost the initial, like got dinked on the engagement and saw 2 players. But there's no changing the game plan when your teammate's ready to push right there. So
हवा इथे मी आहे इथे
Swift reminder that Underdog offers real money fantasy games on all your favorite
Lower,
Counter-Strike
lower,
events,
lower,
like
lower.
the Blast
मला
Rival.
heal
Thank you, Underdog.
4x3
for
असू
supporting
शकते
our
दादा
scene.
मे बी
Underdog got you, dog.
अस्मित
हा
आज पण 3-2
काय बोलतो
दोघांमधून कोणतरी 3-2
Ouch.
Ouch.
SS just loses half his health to that frag. It's been a while since we've had the all-in execute, since the pistol, if I'm not mistaken. So here we are, 10 rounds later, and Falcons gonna give it a shot, but they'll meet ZywOo in sight, who's just 1 bullet away from toppling Nico in that process. Only a smoke here for Mezzi, so no real disruptive utility. He'll find Nico. The little that was left of him is Kicksan off of bench.
आला round आला
Adds an element of surprise. Monesi was perched top Tetris, but since the bomb went down, it kind of slows things down for a moment.
हा
And within that
स्पॉट
pause,
नसेल केला
you've
त्याने
gotten
तेच बघितलं असेल
Vitality
पण
still
कसं
keeping
आहे
the pressure
सर्व
up.
एक साथ नाही रे बघता येत
Mezzi
कधी
connects
कधी
onto their
मिस
in-game
होतो
leader. Man advantage here established for the defense.
Third
And a
person ला
well-timed
जास्त
peek out of
दिसतो.
Apex could catch them
पण
off
जो
guard.
खेळतो ना
They are very
त्याच्यापेक्षा
much stuck on default. But who's stuck in with who? Monesi back against the wall. Magic by his side. 2v3 Falcons for 8.
Man, they were honestly just wandering around a little bit in that situation. Apex had only peeked from the CT on a normal peek instead of jump spotting. Would have had a great fight versus both. Another 5v4 here brought to you by ZywOo. And then Mezzi's 2 kills as he gets to the top of connector. But after
भाई
that,
सिटी साइड बेस्ट है इसका
they're not really playing
Falcon
the
का.
advantage of the fact that the site doesn't have any protected choke points. If they plant default, Apex is back there and ticket. Oh, nice shot,
Okay.
Monesi. Caught him out of the sky.
डबल स्कोप किया था
But do we need a stairs peek from Vitality in that situation? Shouldn't they have delayed for
Double
time
scope
since
पे
they had
मारा है
still
उसने.
control of top con, stairs, and ticket?
मिलेगा और स्कोप करेगा तो
Monesi
मिलेगा
absolutely took over this game on the Inferno opening.
Oops, मिलेगा rope.
The biggest surprise of the series, and watching Vitality's win streak come to an end on that map specifically. This is his second best map yet, and no surprise that a 5-round lead comes with it. And this is within a half where we've seen him topple top middle twice by ZywOo in the window.
ज़्यादा है देखते
Gets revenge here in the final round of the attack. Trying to box him in from connector at the moment. Look at this. Vitality's defense is just cornered. At some point, they're going to be concerned about that back A site. But Tesses, he'll step up to the challenge.
Who's cornered? You know, right now, Falcons are the ones clustered. CTs everywhere.
They know about the right side. Left peek comes in. They're able to piece it all together. Monesi doesn't pull the trigger on that ROPS jiggle. 30 seconds, bomb's gonna go down, no challenge. Monesi looking for the style points to close it. Every second he buys here is good. It'll keep ROPS away from sight. A much needed retake with no kit and no HP. They'll end this half on fire. A master class of a T side, 9-3.
9-3 भाई साहब
अबे अजून नाही सुरू
फुल
झाली.
डोमिनेशन भाई सब लोग खेल रहे हैं भाई सब लोग चेयर का कुशन थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट राइट है शिरीष भाई वेलकम वेलकम, स्वागत है स्ट्रीम पे भाई। तेरे को वॉच पार्टी स्ट्रीम करने की परमिशन कैसे मिली? परमिशन नहीं रहता, अलाउ रहता है। इट्स सीएस ब्रो। नहीं रहेगा तो कॉपीराइट आएगा। नो कॉपीराइट, नो कॉपीराइट। इतने सारे मैंने किए, मेरे को तो कॉपीराइट नहीं आते। जो सॉन्ग्स रहते हैं ना इसमें, मतलब अभी बैकग्राउंड का सॉन्ग चल रहा है उस पे ही कॉपीराइट क्लेम आता है, इसलिए मैं बीच बीच में म्यूट कर देता हूँ। लेकिन आप कर सकते हो क्योंकि वो गेम है, वो आपको ऐसे अवेलेबल रहता है, तो नहीं आता कॉपीराइट।
अरे
1 मिनट है भाई।
हेलो हेलो बॉयज। ओ यू विल चैट। बोल बोल। रेडी करा रेडी भाई रेडी। तू आलास पण चल एक मॅच खेळू चल. तू आलास तर जाणार होतो झोपायला जर आला नसतास तर. ही गन गन गेम लागला. गन गेमच लाव म्हणत होतो. नाही बे ट्रायल्स खेळ.
कुछ यूज स्ट्रीमर को ट्विच पे
सीजन एंड्स इन
बोलते सुना कि परमिशन नहीं है, सो शायद वो ट्विच का सीन होगा। नहीं, ट्विच पे भी रहता है परमिशन। कुछ स्पेसिफिक्स जो रहते हैं ना टूर्नामेंट्स, उनके नहीं रहते परमिशन, इसीलिए हर टूर्नामेंट का हम भी नहीं करते। जो जो बिग टूर्नामेंट रहते हैं जिसका अलाउ होता है वॉच पार्टी,
950
वो हम करते हैं।
950
ये चीज़ है, हर किसी टूर्नामेंट नहीं रहता कॉर्पोरेट फ्री।
हल्ले एक्सप्लेनेशन देतो रे। ले बडबड आहे ना, नाही तर काय नको तिथं बडबड करेल।
तो ये सीन है। आई सी, यस यस। स्काई स्पोर्ट्सचा केला आहे का तू? यस यस, स्काई स्पोर्ट्स का किया है ना, सेमीफाइनल फाइनल किया है हमने। स्काई स्पोर्ट्स मेजर्स किए हैं, कोटो भी किया है, बहुत सारे किए हैं रे। मेरे को तो अभी नहीं आया, ऑपरेट आया तो कोई इशू नहीं है, तो फिर जाएगा, मेरे एल लग जाएगा, लेकिन नहीं आता इतने
awkward moments.
नहीं आता मेरे को तो नहीं आता। क्लेम आता है सॉन्ग्स का।
I think that one's just a bad fever dream for Vitality. They're going to try to win some dignity back
Who
here.
are
in the
you
second
supporting
half. But
tonight?
it starts with
Falcon.
pistols. The Falcons have been good on them.
fan.
Uh-oh. Spotted ya.
They are 6-1 in pistols this series. That is about as lopsided as it gets. Gunning for a 7th. You know, the real, of course, asterisk. Gotta convert him.
चाहिए था
P250 on the T side gets popped by Tesses, who is a bit of an animal at the moment. That critical 3K with the Desert Eagle over on the B side really put Falcons in a great place.
Ooh, this is interesting, man, because Magis has a smoke, and they're coming in from Palace. They might not need to suss out the players on the ramp, or
as well.
Flamesy inside of... Oh, underpass. Interesting spot. He's really ready for this delayed lurk.
What happens when that bomb gets covered in a smoke? Because nobody is stopping Magis from running up and putting that smoke on top of it.
Exactly.
He's going to go for this 5-second defuse inside of a smoke. It is utter desperation from Vitality, and he just can't line it up.
Yep.
So with ease, Falcons step forth to double digits.
It's a perfect game plan. The way that Kickstand rotates around through Palace is awesome as well. They know it's going to be an A-ramp play. And once they kill Zywoo, and so they're aware. They can draw out everybody just by dropping that smoke. So just beautifully played. Another beautifully played pistol round here for Falcons. They've got a collection of them.
Nico, hi Nico.
It felt like we really hadn't been given a showcase of Vitality mistakes in
major
this series, even when they go back and lose Inferno.
Until this map, yeah.
This is the map that Vitality have dropped the ball.
Lots of mistakes.
I suppose the saving grace for their sake is we've got Nuke in the back pocket. Final map of this best of 5 ready to go again. But it looks like we're going to be getting there sooner than later. with rounds like these just getting racked up. These rifles at the front of the B hit are finding nothing until ZywOo finally answers. By the time he does so, everybody else is dead, and Rops is right there with him. 11-3. It is Falcons all the way to map 5, it feels.
We could have had a different whole half, if not for a few different rounds going the way of Falcons that were just awkward, messy. I mean, you had that round where Rops walks up to the top of stairs with an op and Kicksands just reloading a Tetris. You have the Glock round. You have so many 5v4s that have been given up. I mean, they kind of just want to forget about this.
Nice
Definitely not the best showing here for Vitality. Falcons will be hyped, though.
And rightfully so. Finally, a chance in this series where we can say they've just been simply better. There's no question on this one. Doesn't look like it's going to be in question. In fact,
as it is आप डालोगे ना ये stream तो copyright strike
unfortunately for the Vitality side, it is force buys all the way to the end, which looks like it's around the corner. 2 left in middle. Rob's trying to come and join his captain.
मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ एक तरह से review दे रहा हूँ देख रहा हूँ.
But this could be a bad sign of things to come for the final map of the series, because this has been Vitality breaking down. Frag grenade for Ace Specs, just gonna pour that salt in the wound. 9 map points.
One of these maps is gonna be close.
Well, then I'll see you on Nuke.
Yeah.
I mean, this is shocking.
It is shocking, 100%. This is the most one-sided so far.
You know, in the same way that we saw MOUZ slowly get closer and closer, even though they've yet to beat this Vitality, it's always improvements. And Brolin comes out and says it feels like the next time we're going to get them. Guys, this is the first time Falcons have been able to blow Vitality out of the water.
Galil.
Magisk right into the windowsill. I mean, they can do no wrong on this second half.
Let's go, let's go.
With a win streak truly alive, it is a very odd scene to see Vitality fall apart like this.
Nico, off angle.
Safe to say nobody on the analyst desk could have seen this one coming.
I think VOGUE was the one who said that they're the most beatable on Mirage.
The nature of the Australian map wins for Falcons was an overtime dust 2, a 13-10 on this map, and then we know what happened with that barn burner of a nuke. So this is new territory for Falcons, and maybe that's why it's tough to close, but we'll see, because Monacy's still 20-8, full health, ready to rock inside jungle, and Kicksands hears that quick window cross, but he doesn't do anything to stop it. And while TSS looks real low, that's all the players left alive here in the 16th round of play.
Yeah, I don't think Vitality want to go outside right now and take a break before the next map without having something to say on this map. Otherwise, it is just going to be terrible mood out there, to be honest. Even if they aren't going to win this, and they could, but not with the way that they're playing. 8-9 rounds at least for the team that they have shown us that they are after these last few months. That's, I think, the bar at a minimum.
What the fuck? No way. Review 5.
But you got to respect these Falcons pistols. That also helps for the
Nico
lopsided
andar aana chahiye tha side mein.
And even though they didn't convert right away in the first half, they got the round after.
Oh, ZywOo के पास बड़ा दिमाग है भाई. पिछले बार जैसा मत करो. 13-4 है अभी.
What? What was that kill?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think really just a testament to the way that Falcons are doing as they please.
This is the last
I was looking around this game. Guys, are you jet lagged or?
Right? Thought we had shaken all that off, but here's Monacy scouring the field and finding nothing. Nade with his name on it.
Perfect nade.
Well, the best piece of your team now has to somehow find an opening without his op and down on 50 health. But there's really no thread to pull on here at a minute 15. Not a single CT showing skin towards mid.
Yeah, they have B control. This will allow Tesla to leave B. Nico's pushed up on Cat. Bomb still up at the top of mid, actually.
आवाज आया,
Little
Flames
bit
का
awkward.
आवाज
Wanna
आया,
go and grab that.
ladder room.
And now they've got a proper split in place. Kixan is fully pushed, right? Yeah.
Rotate कर रहे भाई.
But Nico hasn't left quite yet. They're still worried about a potential cap play.
It's that lack of mid control since the start of the round.
Nico, shit.
See if matches can catch them off guard from Sandwich as m0NESY draws attention and goes down with nothing. Apex toying with this execute, but it gets full cleared by mezii. Well done on the approach here from Vitality. You keep Flamesy's eyes over towards Cat to prevent any kind of a challenge. Here's TeSeS though, he stops the plant.
No way.
15 seconds to recover. A test from Nico through jungle soon enough, but that late play from Kixan having to wrap all the way around apartments.
Needed to be a few seconds earlier. Nico still wishes he was on cap for this.
Kixan's gonna get dropped by it, so Nico just waiting out this smoke grenade. Unfortunately, his teammates have all been withered away.
All right, so what we saw here was a great round out of Vitality, map control-wise. And yeah, that was solid. Good use of the round. There wasn't much pushback in terms of mid and their default in general, so Falcons, I think they had the B push, but they didn't really gamble off of it. I mean, Kixan could have been up there. They maybe could have freed up their cap player a little earlier to come over to reinforce A and made A look more like a threatening hold while Kixan would work on a flank, but I don't think they were willing to risk it. Still scared, apparently, of Vitality and the thought that they could change their mind on a moment's notice.
15-20 minutes लगेंगे.
So the game becomes 7 rounds. At least we can say Vitality looked good for once.
Sure. Which, like you mentioned a couple rounds ago, is just something you want to be able to walk away with. Your head's held a little higher.
चालू कर दिया मैंने. PUBG background में.
And I'd usually say this is a round that Falcons can't win, but we saw m0NESY do it with a Glock.
They've already won without armor.
More
or
than
Deagles.
It's a slow stew through connector. TeSeS in jungle with this double forward setup on Nico. He wants that ramp fight. Utility comes out from Palace. That opens the door for the connector push. And all's good here for the Vitality camp in a round they should win. Dare I say need to in order to continue this little bit of a comeback. Looking for respect. As they should be sent packing eventually.
We're in the training arc right now. When we get to the last few rounds, then I think you get the fiery battle, the defaults, and the high-level mind games. And I mean, it's 12-6 now. Vitality have made that comeback before.
You're not wrong.
That's the thing. This team is 100% belief.
And they did it in a much higher...
Sorry, 100% proof. You know what I mean? Right. They literally have not lost. So I don't think they care how many situations they get into that are like this.
नमस्कार कुणाल भाऊ, स्वागत है स्ट्रीमर. वेलकम वेलकम. क्या हालचाल? रिडीम करना पड़ेगा अभी.
Having a good time. That's what life is all about.
ये अब क्या पता फुल बाय है ये हारे तो 8-12
and Glee
confirm.
On map 3 to a quick reality check on Mirage.
Same situation 12-6 है भाई. पिछले वाला ग्रैंड फाइनल लास्ट मैप 12-6 से कमबैक हुआ था वाइटलिटी का.
TeSeS is a huge part of the game plan here versus Falcons Mirage. Just like Rops, he's here freely peeking, taking fights, really good at fighting versus bench, really good at fighting versus underpass, picking his spots. This is going to be a totally known quantity for Vitality, of course, having faced him already.
Apex starting to get crazy with it.
Yeah, I mean, they pull him all the way back. The fresh top con smoke split in place here for the B site.
Timing's good. Oh, gets shut down. Saiwu turns just in time to cover. We get kills back from Falcons, though. It's still even keel. Missed shot from Monacy as Flimsy just slides down beneath that scope. Magisk up next, instant headshot. And this one down to just the 2v2 with bomb over towards that catwalk. Mezzy reopens the possibility of it as Kixan's got to try to close this gap. His best map of the series so far. The in-game leader has taken his team to a comfortable lead. But can he close it with a clutch? They've actually lost track of this. No eyes on back market. Now confirmed that he's here. And he just tries to push it forward. Looks to section them off. But Mezzy's got other ideas. His 2 kills on that site keeps the Vitality comeback going.
It's another good call followed up by the default mid control, which we know Vitality is core of their game plan on this T side. And Saiwu, another 5v4 in this game. You can really count him up. This time it actually results in a round, and they transpose it to the post plant perfectly with Mezzy taking that last fight. Everything is looking a lot better now for Vitality suddenly. No, you don't have to host this yet. We don't know what's going to happen in this game, Mike. Stop spoiling the script.
Deeks again on the field.
पता नहीं भाई कमबैक होगा या नहीं. हम सिर्फ देख सकते भाई. Easy round throw हुआ 5v3. पिछली मैप में भी ट्रेन में भी ऐसा ही हुआ था.
There was no extra rope though. One small mistake at this point, it's over.
अभी डी 12 है ना. ये गया राउंड.
Vitality slept through their alarm on this game.
Just no control of the situation in the first half. You'd think so many mistakes would cost you. Desert Eagles surround you. Do they come away with kills? Monacy won. And the others dropped with nothing, but Kixan activates while the nades are in hand. Mezzy finds Sanctuary in the corner of Con. He's got to try to push that bomb up. Great spam damage coming at him. And now the op picks up. Kixan's going to try to get it going.
Hit that shot.
Bomb plant on default, safe. Mezzy coming up. Oh, and his head gets popped. It's a triple here from Kixan. Killer calls and a convincing fashion to try to close this. As you've got Rops stuck along the wall. He feels like he is stuck in with them. And the trade frag looks likely. But 11 health on Magisk as he sits on that angle and waits. And Rops feels squeezed for the win and a chance on nuke. Magic's crosses. And still those shots whiz by. Rops, cold as ice, just welcomes him in. And a 10-second defuse to stick this down to the final seconds. Do we go again?
Oh, it blows up. Rops just delayed. That's all they needed to do. Magis did not have time for that specific approach. If he had a kit to work with, that would have been it. Oh, Kixan, this performance on that round was excellent to watch. But the fact that he just needed to swing.
No way.
What a perfect internal clock from Robs. With the amount of pressure he applied to Magisk in that, you know, and then suddenly he just stopped moving, and I thought to myself, like, oh, he got inactive, but that is what wins the round. Another by milliseconds, not the first one. Vitality pull out of the hat. Look at that fire next to their names. There is momentum here now.
This fight could be everything. Kixan coming up close.
Twice the damage, but Apex hangs on from the bottom of the board. The real depths.
Things starting to get hot now. We've got that pressed up against the glass inside of Palace. No one in CT right now. Look how many players are over in the jungle. 3.
It's locked.
They don't know what to do with the space. Robs gets tagged by the smoke. That's unfortunate. They get scared about it. Could be someone sitting firebox listening. They'll re-expand and regroup towards A ramp. CTs have no idea. They think this is going back to B.
Nah, bro.
Monacy 23-13. Pristine scoreline. Alive and well.
Tessa starts to expand here from the B site. Looks to explore a little towards middle.
I mean, it's still going to work out properly in
Monesi
Vitality's favor. This pause, it's just Monesi. It's the first and last line of defense.
Say that one more time.
It's just Monesi.
Utility for the execute's looking good. There was a smoke out there. It goes for the cross instead to let Mezzi try to pressure him. Monesi will give over ticket booth. You hear the feet in the fire. He knows damn well this has been compromised. He'll be expecting Mezzi to have been pushed up, and maybe that's why the Brit falls back ever so slightly.
Yeah,
still sticks around that corner.
Switches to missiles. That's a fine spot to be in if you're Mezzi. We're talking no utility, though. No assistance on this peak.
Retake is on. TeSS, smoke grenade, and the kit. Keep an eye on him to try to squeeze out the defuse. And right now, that emphasis on ticket is allowed because Zaiwu dropped a critical shot. Apex picks up the flag. No way TeSS gets turned on. Monesi's able to recover, but he wasn't able to get active at the start. What could have been players plucked off ramp in Palace is instead spaced to Vitality.
They didn't have any utility because they came forward with a proper exec out of the ramp. If you're in ticket, you're tempted to fall back anyways. Monesi's op. Doesn't find one opportunity to get in. Even though Zaiwu misses an op shot, he's now got teammates. It doesn't have to just be him in this game. They survive a huge battle at the top of mid. Kickstand dying in the smoke. That one kill definitely shifts tides dramatically. But now we're talking about a 3-round game.
We need only 1 round.
Now there's a real chance for double digits. The moment Vitality appear to start playing well, then they streak.
Zaiwu Galil yaar.
It's probably a few people that switched off the stream thinking he'll come back for the next map.
12 no 12
might have news for them.
ये हो जाएगा क्या बोलते हैं 10 12
Magic though, here's all of
this. This is a crazy place to sneak into. Zaiwu takes a step back.
Arre yaar,
Zaiwu walks right into it.
TeSS did pick up a Deagle kill to start that though. He's hoping to inspire the other pistols. You've got that looming threat of Monesi's off over towards jungle. Now repositioning quick to ticket. TeSS on the edge of smoke. Rops has got to try to keep his head between both sides of this. TeSS decides to emerge, and it's an easy pickup for man advantage. Nico's low. It really still feels like it's gotta be Monesi's off. Nico's Desert Eagle's a distraction, and Rops turns around.
Doesn't matter. The reactions from Rops, and now Monesi's off is actually in danger.
Under threat from this close push. Okay. Danger. From bench to an end to the double digits with it.
That's right. The clutch with him, and now Vitality have, in a remarkable turn of events, gotten into double digits here on Mirage.
Easy free, easy.
After their worst half in some time, maybe months. Falcons go up 9-3. They even score the second pistol. But Vitality tell us there's still a real chance that this game isn't over. How is that possible? The only thing that can get him excited at this point is winning in new ways.
Game read, class
12-6 wasn't enough.
And that's really what this best of 5 grand finals has brought to the table. Winning in new ways. Both teams swapping their map picks to start off the series. We threw those scripts out the window, and now we're here. And not just 9-3. 9-3 plus pistol and conversions for what is now a 7-round streak out of Vitality.
And this was one more mistake for Vitality and the game's over. Now it's one more mistake for Falcons. And there's a high probability of overtime.
Falcons.
You said they needed at the very least to collect rounds to walk outside and prepare for nuke with. Well, what if we don't go to nuke? A press from Magisk towards ramp. Mezzi awaits him, and he hits that instant headshot. Yet again, an opening kill to the Vitality favor. Now, Monesi is there to cause problems, not from ticket, but rather bench. And a quick push from Apex is going to flush him back onto the other side of the smoke. They try to expose the approach. Not the case. Vitality do a good job of just keeping their heads down for now.
Ball's coming in slow.
Second volley of utility comes over top, and the plant's right there behind it.
Defensive smoke from Monesi. Teams are all within the site right now, but Flames gets out of there.
We've got a potential retake queued up. Triple ticket. Double smoke on this situation here for Falcons. ZywOo missed a shot previously that allowed Falcons to really pressure the bomb site. And now with that smoke down in front of him, he looks for the deeper angle, takes it instantaneously, tries to put that off into the smoke alongside the T's. And now it is only m0NESY of the 4 remaining players to get anything done. His save is no guarantee. This win for Falcons, no longer a guarantee. We go round 24.
They had this in writing up until this point, and now we go round 24. And it's not been a series of miracles. It's simply been Vitality playing as they should have. Going up top right here for this off shot. Beautiful move out of ZywOo, and Flames' early risk in getting over to the stairs pays off as they crush this post-plant position. And now everyone can get excited.
Timeout लो ना भाई, timeout लो ना, है ना तेरे पास timeout?
And the finale of this regulation will, unfortunately for Falcons, have to be fought with an MP9 and 2 FAMASes to support these rifles.
Yeah, they tried again, but they just give legs over to Rops. Great trade out of Nico, much needed, to say the least.
Man, I think they wish they could turn this into a cap play after that double ramp push. Apex is listening to this, but he's also up in halls.
He said earlier in this game, guys, all we have to do is stick to the original plan. They will, by the looks of it, follow through onto the A hit. Will he be a part of this split? Nico tries to challenge Apex. TeSeS only able to lock down one. The Kovac fall back to the default site. He collects yet another head, but that is where he's ended. ZywOo to hold off Murder Hole, but somebody's got to pick up bomb.
He doesn't want to leave because he knows that they could be coming there from window. He's playing it safe. They don't know where everybody is.
Apex off angle. CT slow approach, nades in hand. Lucky to get that gun back out.
Did he get out of there?
Lucky to try to dodge, but he needs to also offer cover.
No plan.
We stand on the finish line.
ZywOo, who got 5v4s throughout this entire game, now has to go into the clutch. 2 kills in this round. And maybe an open route. m0NESY to watch him.
He hits it! Headshot out of ZywOo to create a world of possibility.
And a touch of good movement to open up options over towards B.
Style points as he arrives on this B bomb site. No challenge, no contest, which means plenty of time to reposition.
20th kill for ZywOo, 21 to bring this to overtime. He needs the 4K 1v2. Kixan knows he can play it from anywhere. No utility to work with.
And bomb plant front sight. Stoic.
Double flashes
for Cat.
Yeah, नहीं होगा.
ZywOo sits silently.
Heart
pounding for Kixan, knowing they could push this series, make sound. He's not faking. It's a miss, but he gets him off. Now Kixan no longer confusing.
Wait, does he have time? I don't think so.
No, not again. 3 times in this series!
He won it!
It comes down to less than a second!
He just pulled him off the bomb. That's all he needed to do, and Vitality have done it. They get to over-regulation. It's overtime. They have a chance to close out Mirage. I can't believe it.
Clutch courses through these veins.
He diffused just far back enough. It was actually a nervous moment for ZywOo. But he got off the bomb.
फेक नहीं मतलब पूरा कर देता ना वो फर्स्ट टाइम हो जाता रे हो जाता
9-3 lose pistol.
It's over for Falcons.
Vitality
yes.
still show resilience. Flash for Nico. He looks to stop it. Can't do it on his own, and there is zero support here as that A defense is what Falcons look to weaponize early. A crushing feeling that Falcons know all too well after Australia.
Yeah, Melbourne needed 5 hours for TeSeS to feel good again.
Good reposition from m0NESY though. Top stairs not spotted, still reacts. And so a second man advantage made possible after the fact. You've got the ramp player coming out to try to pressure, but pressure alleviated here by TeSeS. Another clutch attempt, cut short by Magis.
And after all of that, Falcons finally get their round.
After 12, bhai.
Nothing tells you there's pressure like winning the first round of overtime after a comeback.
Falcon उड़ नहीं पा रहा भाई.
Was there anything special about this? Maybe the time of the attack, maybe the fact they finally figured it out. The kind of game Vitality want to bring, but it ends up just being another A split. This time, Falcons just hit more shots.
They
must be beyond frustrated to be here. Oh, and Messi,
that flash.
He still got Nico.
I mean, there's a world where he goes down with nothing. Instead, Magis at bat catching Apex off guard. Awkward off angle, trades good again. Modesty, but Zywoo hits it. And so we go back 2v2.
Just underneath him, flames behind him.
Tesses though dead. Tries to take it on an off timing and instead thrusts the in-game leader to yet another clutch. And Zywoo's bought a little more time and brought a little more backup.
Protected that CT plants, not
Zywoo
playing for
better,
it.
man.
Now
But spotted, yeah.
What are you gonna do? You got no way to get him out of here, so you put down the smoke and Zywoo's gonna strike you before.
Yeah, it just keeps rolling with Zywoo, who's getting better by the round. The refrag on Monacy, man, those are the kinds of kills that I placed a bet on him every time to get. And he didn't uncrouch. He didn't uncrouch right there. That was the key for Zywoo. He didn't pop up again and risk it. He had a sliver of a chance. And 100% faith. So this is where the game begins. 1-1 in OT between these two teams. Monacy on 30 frags.
इस मैप पे
Zywoo catching up on
फ्लेम्स का
23.
कोई
Nico not taking
योगदान
over
नहीं
with
है.
him.
But Rops is right there.
एपेक्स का कोई योगदान नहीं है. मेजी, रोप्स एंड ज़ाइवू ये तीनों कैरी कर रहे हैं.
The Maltese are missing. Nico has had some
हमारे यहाँ
worst
पर एक
losses.
मैचेस
Any
करे
player
वही
in history, all the way back from Boston.
वही इनफॉर्म नहीं है.
The list just, it feels infinite, to be honest.
वो देख वो उसने
This one might be in the top
पेपर
5
वेब पे
if it goes south.
नेम पैड लगा है. किसी रैम
it's
का
not because of
प्रमोशन
him,
कर रहा है
but-
वो.
He knows this isn't his A game right now. This
Sound.
sneak from Rops.
They make noise on the disassemble. Cat
Arre.
players cover. Holds that back.
Perfectly covered.
Nasty Flamesy to hit that. Nico slides outwards though, and there's no support for the trade. But you've got Rops up in the window. Missed shots! Critical error! Unless Zywoo can bring it back. But Modesty hits his. You know there's a player down beneath, and Magisk seems unkillable.
Magis.
What a time to step it up. And what a time for Rops to drop the ball. Perfect chance for Falcons.
Yeah, that was actually definitely the play for Rops. I don't blame the way he approached that. Wasn't a bad spray, but missed his first few taps, and that was enough. Yes, he was waiting for Nico to come back up connector as well, but it's not as if he waited too long for this. He actually crouched right into it, just simply missed.
2020 होगा. Honestly 30 lul.
Nico
32
dodged
भाई.
that flashing
32.
connector a little bit lucky, landed right at his feet as well.
अभी क्या बता
Nico's
भाई.
not somebody who's going to shy away from trying to take over a game regardless of his score. Give him enough time.
Yeah, we mentioned that. He doesn't need fast starts. He's somebody who, you can look at his second half stats after a really poor first half, and he comes back as if he was never playing Galil that day.
सबसे अच्छा है मतलब जो
That
आ रहा है
explains the
ना.
consistency with Nico.
Feels like a desire to win is in his
स्पेस मिलता है
DNA.
अंडर
He's
पास
not there
चेक
yet.
करने के लिए और टॉप मिड में ऊपर बक्से पे चढ़ के देखने के लिए. क्योंकि most of the players नहीं
This return to the CT side's been a long time coming for Vitality.
Yeah.
हमारे दो बंदे नहीं चल रहे भाई.
Must feel foreign.
नहीं सब चल रहे भाई. फाल्कन के सब चल रहे. अभी
The way
मैजिक्स
the
ने
rounds
भी
played out in
निकाला.
the first half, that simply wasn't them. Gave him a lot to think
सिर्फ
about, I'm sure.
आपके दो
but
बंदे नहीं चल रहे. वो
can't
की
help
है
but feel like
एपेक्स
these
और
OT CT rounds are
फ्लेम्जी.
going to feel a little bit different for Falcons.
ज़ायवू
Maybe
है
the
तो
rock star
पॉसिबल
of
है.
Mirage.
ज़ायवू खत्म.
But that core of
Possibility
Vitality's
खत्म.
powering up. Kicksan's going to try to test Cat.
No,
First
that was
casualty here of this one.
Offhanded that flash, ran right into it.
Utility over the top of ramp, missed off shot from ZywOo.
Yet
he gets tagged, now has to somehow survive down to 7 with fire down beneath him. Nico coming out from connector. The success is starting to be pieced together all across the board. And as that utility rains on deep, Mezzy gets his. Whittled down to 40, flashed and smoked off soon. This is bomb plant and double ops honed in on him.
All right.
Falcons secure it again.
All right, that looked excellent out of Falcons. Attack was perfect. Nico was in there. Magisk is getting kills now too.
W.
That was very smooth.
कौशिक भाई welcome स्वागत है स्ट्रीम पे मैच एंजॉय करो गाइस
They got shook on that comeback, but
भाई क्या चल रहा है
they got their head on straight now.
चौथा मैप है 2-1 से Vitality लीड कर रही है.
That absolutely could have gone the way for Vitality, but this start to the T side for Falcons.
मिस नहीं करता है रे ZywOo डिफिकल्ट शॉट आहे ते पण अरे ZywOo ब्रो हमारे लिए अंडू पंडू लोगों के लिए वो डिफिकल्ट है, उसके लिए नहीं है वो जो की फैक्टर रहते हैं. दिस इज ZywOo वर्ल्ड नंबर 1. ऐसा नहीं बोलते, उसके लिए वो आसान है.
Sign me up for more Magisk shots like that.
हम अपने से कंपेयर नहीं कर रहे हो, ZywOo से ZywOo कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. अब देखो वो मिस नहीं करता तो राउंड आ जाता. ये सीन है.
I was thinking about that.
ZywOo है रे वो.
They have failed in 9 rounds to close this game.
वो कैपेबल है, इसलिए बोला हमने.
Some teams just make great enemies.
कभी भी जाओ किसी भी गेम, मतलब फेस इट छोड़ो, ZywOo के जो POVs रहते हैं ना वो डाउनलोड कर के देखो भाई. अलग मतलब
very much.
आपको भी समझ आएगा वो क्या करता है.
There's enough of a defense floating around this site. ZywOo's going to have to be a key part of it again, but he doesn't really get that jump up onto ticket he was hoping to have landed. We've got a gap on that smoke towards bench. He's looking for another. No concern whatsoever, just riding off the Magisk swing. And so it's an easy pickup for Kixan.
What a great risk.
ZywOo missed second shot. We've got the M4 close. It's TSS to the T side again. And Magisk now able to lock in behind sight box. Monacy hands busy on the plant. Nico's your late ramp anchor. And as long as he sits over there, one concern, bomb's not for him. So if this ticket retake from Flamesy starts to go well, supported by Mezzy of course, then maybe Vitality still upend this man advantage. Time to find out. TSS drop real quick. Magisk now feels squeezed. There's 2 of 4. It's down to the duo. The Falcons bank on, and a missed op shot as well. That bomb is not for Nico. He somehow has to close this gap, has to run them down, and he will not do so. First chance missed.
Unreal on that retake, man. It starts with Flamesy inside that smoke, but TSS, the menace to be able to get over CT control. Both ZywOo and a second frag, I think it was Apex down. And that's where it felt like this job was finished. One more kill, and it certainly comes down to time. But no op shot here. Great utility. It was really sparse in the end, but they made it happen. And Vitality, keep this flame burning. That's a tough round to win under pressure. One timeout, each replenished in overtime, now used. Give some time to Vitality to think as well.
एक राउंड जीतना था भाई फैल्कन. नालायको भाई, शर्म करो. एक राउंड जीतना था. कितने राउंड आगे?
And ZywOo taking that risk. He stayed open to Apex at the ramp and the ramp, all while someone could have swung on Palace for so long, and no one peeked him. How did he know he could take that risk, man?
He is the game.
And he is the game. It got him a kill. And as you can see, they needed every single one.
12 बज गए भाई. मेरे को लगा 12:30 तक.
It's one of the elements of ZywOo's play we praise. A huge opening.
Yeah, could be a chance that he missed this on the first jump spot, but that's a lot of damage. And they hear it, so they're not going to jump spot again.
Mezzy knows better. Or at least he should.
Flash doesn't get Monacy back.
Last round यार double OT. अभी मूड गया रे मेरा देखने का. ये चीज है भाई. कितने बार
nothing towards A at all.
चांसेस थे,
As you can see,
इतना
Falcons
क्लोज,
are
इतना
looking to
नसीब
turn this
अच्छा
into a
कैसे
B attack,
वाइटल
but Nico's starting to walk back to the ramp. Is this just for the the window smoke? Maybe at the 1 minute timing. Molly on Cat to trick him. Let's see if it does anything. Yeah, it actually makes the rotation go over to B. I'm not surprised Vitality figured this out.
डबल किल नहीं चाहिए, ज़ागू भी है.
Dangerous game to play with TeSS and Magisk on the entry. Bombs coming.
Nice.
They try to get ahead of the smoke. They do so. Flash is fantastic. You've got Mezzy still just leaning back and a ton of damage done. Peppering that window from the catwalk. Nico arrives.
Okay.
And as he does, 2 bodies drop. Zywoo now the next. Kickstand tries to press his issue into the likes of Apex. Reads it, but can't stop him. And so m0NESY again and again and again has to be the key. He could be 11th chance to close this.
He could jump across, walk right into
Okay.
Nice.
The one-man army. This best of 5 deserves it. Don't go far. Nuke up next. This is the best that Counter-Strike has to offer.
W m0NESY
It took them
W
11
m0NESY.
chances to close from 12-3 down to all the way back into overtime. Vitality will make nothing easy, but the Falcons still close. And at the end of the day, a dub is a dub is a dub, and this dub sees us go the distance in this best of 5 grand final.
That's the best offer in the world right there.
Spam
That's
मत
the
करो
best
भाई,
offer
spam
in
हो
the
जाना
world. That
चाहिए.
1v2 right there, using the
Vitality.
sliver gap right
Falcon
there
hitter.
from the top of van. Carried them in the first half. Maybe it slowed down a little bit in the
m0NESY
second as
अक्षय
Vitality mounted the comeback, but to close it like that, that's why we
वो
say
shot
his name in
दिखना है
the
मेरे
vein that
को
we do.
पर.
And without
दिखाओ,
m0NESY,
दिखाओ,
that would
दिखाओ.
definitely have been a comeback. You know, I don't even know what happened in that game. Like
दिखाओ,
that,
दिखाओ.
the fact that they even managed to throw away this huge lead and then actually also cementing and actually putting their, like, you know, their comfort back together and actually going back and winning the game. That's actually I'm baffled.
12-3. It was 12-3.
Yep.
It was 12-3, and they came back to
12-3.
overtime. And usually what happens, you know, Falcons might win one round, and then Vitality just close it out. Usually you have your opponents mentally broken at that point. The fact they can close this out still is honestly hard to believe.
Big credit to m0NESY, man. He pulled off some amazing plays. He carried Falcons so much this time around.
He really did.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
genuinely does feel like he thought he was joining a complete project, and suddenly
यार,
he is
दिखाते
the
नहीं है
team
इधर.
here on Mirage. But we
नेक्स्ट मैच कब है? यहाँ पर रख देता हूँ मैं.
हेलो
हेलो, पबजी खेल रहे हो?
ये चल पबजी है
स्कायलॉर्ड नहीं आलास?
मला ना माहिती कोणच्या अकाउंट
पबजी ड्रॉप क्या मिलता है देखो. फ्री में जी कॉइन दे रहा है पबजी. मतलब चाहिए हो तो. बिट विल बी रिप्लेस मैजिक सून. अरे हाँ, मैंने भी सुना है वो, लेकिन उड़ती उड़ती खबर है रे. लेकिन इफ पॉसिबल हो तो भाई कियोसुके को नहीं चाहिए भाई. बीट अभी हेडशॉट मशीन है CS2 में भाई. मजा आ जाएगा भाई. एंकर करेगा बीट. क्या दे रहा है मेरे को? ओ भाई, 1 मोर बोनस. लेकिन की है क्या? की नहीं है. 100 है. की बाय कर सकता हूँ मैं. ए इनवाइट भेजा है तेरे को?
काम में याच्यात आहे तुझ्या अकाउंट ने आता
हाँ, ये नहीं. फाल्कन अनबीटेबल हो गया है भाई. भाई अभी तो बीटेबल था यार. 12-3 से हार रहे थे वो. हाँ, हो जाएगा. सॉरी, हाँ, अनबीटेबल हो जाएगा. बीट आया तो. बीट एक नंबर प्लेयर है भाई. अकेला फ्रैगिंग कर रहा है अभी नावी में. उसको चाहिए भाई, अच्छी टीम चाहिए. वो हो गया, उनका ईरा खत्म हो गया. फिर से 200 मिला. अरे बाप रे. चलो एक कुछ तो बाय करते. कंटेनर रेगुलर क्राफ्टिंग, एक और कंटेनर बाय करते और एक और जी कॉइन से की बाय करते हैं. ओके, डांस मिला है. क्राफ्ट है क्या मेरे पास? ओन है भाई. अब क्या करूँ? हाइड आउट में 14 है. ओह शिट, ये ओपन करना था रे। ये अकाउंट में स्मोक के स्किन्स नहीं है मेरे पास। चलो कोई ना। SMG ये अच्छी है इस वाली से। मैक्टिविश तो गए। अभी कितना टाइम है? 10 मिनट है। 10 मिनट तक हम एक आर्केड, वो भी इंटेंस बैटल रॉयल खेल सकते हैं। आ जाओ।
अंदर 1 मिनिट
मैक्टिविश येतो का? हाँ गेला आहे ना तू तिकडे। हो जाएगा एंड बिट विल ज्वाइन सून। अरे भाई मज़ा आ जाएगा, फिर मज़ा आ जाएगा।
आला बहुतेक मैक,
क्योंकि जो मैचेस का रोल है ना अभी के टाइम पे फैल्कन का, वो ठीक से नहीं हो पा रहा है। और सेम रोल बीट भी करता है, एंकर वाला रोल। तो W रिप्लेसमेंट और इनफॉर्म नहीं है मैचेस। आज बहुत अच्छी तरीके से मैचेस को यूज़ किया फैल्कन ने बैट करने के लिए। मतलब पहले तू पिक ले, तेरा ट्रेड मैं ले लेता हूँ, और हर बार उसने वो मर जा रहा है भाई। आ गया क्या? चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं। 10 मिनट में हो जाएगी अपनी एक मैच। भाई यहाँ तक गले तक आई थी रे मैच। हाँ ना, वो तो सीन है ना, नावी जाने नहीं देगी बिट को। उनका की प्लेयर है अभी तो। देखेंगे देखेंगे। लेकिन बिट को शायद ऐसा लगेगा कि फाल्कन है मेरे लिए। वो देख उस, ओ भाई साहब, मोनेसी जॉर्ड भाई, मोनेसी जॉर्ड। उसका POV दिखा रहे वो।
तुक्का लागला रे।
नहीं तुक्का नहीं, शॉट्स वहां पर दिखता है नीचे से भाई, मोनेसी OP।
बरं ते जाऊ दे, इकडे माझं तोंड बघ।
जाने नहीं देंगे नहीं। इविल गेला?
इविल गेला। झाला घोटाला बिन बुलाया। इकडे बघ, इकडे बघ।
अरे येऊ तर दे, मी गेम मध्ये नाही आहे। मैं आ गया, लेकिन अरे मला नको फॉल करू, मी आले अजून भाई। भी शायद लास्ट सर्कल के लास्ट में। आगे 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 आगे। किधर आओ?
इकडे उतरलोय।
वेयर हाउस चाललोय मी।
बिन बुलाया।
अरे अटक गया, गेम अटक गया। ए यहाँ कैसे? मैं ऊपर था। गन किधर है भाई? ए लोडच नाही झालंय। UBZ मिळाला, नाइस। इसको एटेक्स लगा दो, इसको फेंक दो। भाई सब लग गए। जाना है किधर देख। वहां पर प्लेयर्स हैं। उस साइड है क्या तू? अरे गेम इतना क्यों लैग हो रहा है? प्लेयर्स है रे वहां पर, अभी देखा मैंने। वहां पर व्हीकल है, तो होगा कोई ना कोई। इधर से अब इतना येणार तो।
पुश करू का?
5 मिनट है, अभी आया मैं थोड़ा वॉशरूम जाके। Back in 2 minutes. वो देख उसको फिनिश कर। हेटेक्स लावायचा कधी पण।
माझ्याकडे नाहीये
पिक पिक
अरे हे नाहीये कसा, याच्यामध्ये असतो भावा। शॉट।
अरे ह्याला M24 दिली रे मी।
हाँ ओके ओके
कट गेला।
अच्छा मेरे को लगा वो गली सूट से बैठा है। 12 बज गए रे। वो देख दिखा तेरे को, यहाँ पर मत रहे, यहाँ पर मत रहे, ये फुटता है।
DMR ने नाही फुटत।
शॉट नाइस रे, मागे जा खरंच आहे तुझ्याकडे। ऐकणार नाही ना तू। हार्ड कवर लेने से अच्छा दूसरा कोई कवर नहीं देता रे। कार का कवर ले। वो देख वो देख वो देख, ले उसको पिक ले, हवा में मार। ये यहाँ से तू नहीं जा सकता ऊपर नीचे, नहीं वहां पर नहीं जाना था रे तेरे को। #2
#2 हे दोघं उरलेलं काय?
हाँ
मग झोन साठी थांबायला पाहिजे होतं मी। मला वाटलं खूप जण उरले का। झाली का मॅच सुरू?
अभी है टाइम टाइम। $39, then 613, then 613, 1614। अभी डिसाइडर मैक न्यूक है। जायगू का भी अच्छा है, नीको का भी अच्छा है, टेसिस का भी अच्छा है, फ्लेम्सी का भी अच्छा है।
मॅजिक तेवढं मागच्या सारखा हागला नाही पाहिजे फक्त।
मैजिक भी थोड़ा थोड़ा अच्छा खेलता है।
नाही रे, मागच्याच कसा हागलेला त्या वेंट्सला।
हाँ रे, फॉलो केलास नाही इकडे? फॉलो कर मला आहे इकडे। बंकर आहे बघ तिकडे दिसतंय।
बंकर भाई
पीछे जाना पड़ेगा अभी। इधर मत आ, अभी क्या कर सकता हूँ। अरे वाह नाइस, फिर से क्यू भी दी। शे भाई गोल्डन इस सर्कल में है। अरे किसने नेट फेंका?
अरे अरे हे काय? प्लीज टीममेट आपल्याला का मारतात बाय?
आपला गेम खराब केला रे त्यांनी. लाईव्ह नाव ठेवलंस ना म्हणून. है क्या? चलो रश किया जाए उन पे. मैच हुई स्टार्ट.
चल तुझा बॅरल पट चल. समोर आहे त्याला मार. उतार पळीतून
पळ नाही झाली मॅच चालू भाई.
अरे माग तरी पळ म्हणजे थोडं कव्हर घेऊन टाकायचं.
अरे यार यहाँ पर भी था. चलो कोई नहीं. मैच चालू झाली. न्यूक. हाँ 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 वाइटलिटी ने जीता भाई. करतो
बिनकुल लाईव्ह आलं. परत खेळायचं का बंद करू?
काय बंद कर.
And the scary part for Falcons is Vitality have also been very good at denying conversions, even when Falcons have won them.
काय नाही बस झालं. बारा वाजून गेले रे. आता काय खेळणार?
Big threat here for the scout to deal with. m0NESY tries to dive out fast.
Oh,
nice headshot. Gotta give it to TSS. Not only do you get
dropped,
damage off the scout, yes, both drop down, and so it's a quick reroute for Vitality.
So quick into these protocols.
Still, though, a couple pistols on site. Apex, he's the next victim.
Oh, okay.
We've got a beautiful bounce back, considering this is only the second pistol win of the series for Vitality.
It's so awkward because 3 players are in hell. They didn't have anyone back in lobby, so they can't guarantee the split. There has to be another kill coming out.
And there it is. One for Nico. This is damn near flawless at this point. You've got Rops with 100 health and Flamesy sitting on 10.
There's still something about this if this round drags out with Rops being on full HP. He's still got this AK. They haven't recovered this gun on site.
They give him space.
Yeah, they do.
As two players juggle guns, Kixan actually lets them out from heaven. Okay, finishes off the 10 health of Flamesy, so it's the 100 health of Rops clutch versus 4. Players down beneath him, bested.
Somehow.
42 HP, he could make it to that B site.
Oh,
he could have gone.
Yeah, that's...
But obviously, Nico's down there already just in case, so they have to just write this off. It is a force-buy victory for Falcons.
Okay, they can deny too. I guess we haven't had to see them try it because they've won so many pistols. No one is safe after a pistol round in this series. Nicely done here for Falcons. That shot from Tesses was so clean through the fire as well.
ये देखो इसका जो एपिक्स का गन पड़ा था ना वो ले लिया अच्छा हुआ नहीं लिया
I think the one thing they were missing when they got out through ramp, they wanted to go lower, but since they saw two there, then they committed to help, but they didn't go back to lobby at the same time. So they didn't actually have a split happening. Also, because they lost a player along the way. Zaiwu solo rifle. Monesi hit 35 kills last game.
You saw him, Monesi.
And got the last word as well.
ये देखो हो रहा है इधर से ऊपर से मेरे स्किल इशू मैं ट्राई कर रहा था लेकिन जंप नहीं हुआ लेकिन होता है CS2 में होता है.
We are watching CS at the highest level.
Highest level का कल दिखा रहा था मेरे वो
peak from Nico here could spell disaster for the Vitality attempt at a buyback.
Just missing every single spot. Both players, in fact.
Zaiwu's on him now. Asks
yeah.
him to peek it again.
Maybe, I wonder if Flamesy actually saw something right there and just traded over the aggro to Zaiwu.
Smoke walls go down.
Solo AK.
Ooh, Apex is able to get past this. No confirmation on him getting into the garage, and you see Monesi flirting between ramp and outer.
When you kill Nico, sometimes you have outside, right? There's not always another player with him.
46 damage off the scout shot, and more importantly, just confirming this crawl is coming. They've got 30 seconds to pull off this round. Flamesy starting to take a sniff towards Secret.
Interesting. Going down lower.
Makes sense, I think, with the second gun. Secure that at least, and then a God-given gift for Rops.
Yeah, this is huge plans revealed here.
Apex doubles back, just kind of taking a look at main. 15 seconds.
Oh,
he's going to look to drop down vent, and we've got nothing downstairs here. There is no contest for Falcons.
A steal back already. No one's even watching that. And another Tech9. 2 Tech9 kills. Excuse me? 2 for the price of 1?
GG, bhai, GG.
That looks like the same bullet, but it's not a collateral.
It seriously looked like the same bullet.
What is that? Dude, we continue to live in the subtick.
Oh my God. And that's Rops' third kill with that Tech9.
From quick scopes to diffuses to these headshots.
Yeah, seriously.
Just how close this head-to-head gets down to. Flawless force buy back until this very sneaky Tesses moment. Would have loved to have denied an additional save, but at least one gun down as Vitality bounced right back.
Oh my gosh. Trading back twice, and it's because, again, Flamesy traded aggro as Zaiwu. He took the duel with a solo AK, and then it's actually the real threat here. Okay, and...
What is that?
I don't even know.
That's the same bullet, no?
1, 2, 3, 4... No,
guy.
Wow. He is just a stray shot there on Monesi. My God.
Jail manla re. Assaulter hai.
And honestly, considering he got that kill, maybe they thought he would have grabbed the gun and left, but it felt to me like they really let their guard down considering a teammate just died there.
They were real confused. And Apex somehow got into mini-into vent as well to make matters worse. Falcons were just hoping that it wasn't going to end lower after that Nico kill. Vitality know what to do with the space. Another in a series of ridiculous situations. But in these games of economic chicken, it's always the CTs who suffer. Their buys get worse. And their equipment's more expensive. Nico's one of 2 rifles on this round, and
dude, the economic games of chicken that we've had back and forth. They try it again, and Tesses, unfortunately, not one of the better equipped, but has hit some nice headshots while holding off ramp. This one a little more labored. And unfortunately, him and Magis both dropped. Here comes Nico trying to clean up. Singular kill to his name, as it's ZywOo to make the difference. And it's ZywOo to hit the ground running. Of all of the individual moments we've had throughout all 4 previous maps, ZywOo's consistency from Mirage to Nuke is clearly being felt here.
Yeah, it looks like his best start so far. And now it's an easy decision here for Vitality, as they'll find a place to plant on the upper side. Totally MP, vacated by the CTs, who, unlike last round, have actually made that rotation lower. And is there a gun that Kixan can go and grab or not? I don't think so.
Second M4 is down in hell off Nico's death. Maybe he just grabs one of his own.
Nice.
Yeah,
there we go.
Nice. Apex will be pissed about that. See if you can get him on tilt. I think it's full focus. Nice frag as well to just guarantee this exit.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, you whittle down some cash here for Vitality.
No, that matters, man. It's 4 alive, and it would have only been 1 rifle save, so still a very good attack here for Vitality, coming into the ramp, fighting them through Turnpike. It's their utility down. You know, it had to be sort of a miracle from Nico or someone else pushing through the fire. Unlikely to happen. And now looking at the board, we've got that saved gun. I think Monacis is on the floor somewhere, but no one else will be able to afford anything.
Win streak end
Vitality
will
like to
direct
ramp on
high.
anti-ecos in general.
Another
feature of the T-side nuke, we've especially seen at this event, is establishing secret no matter the round.
Vitality.
There's 1 rifle down. Don't have to think about that.
अरे हो पण मग नंतर तुमचा फायदा काय एवढे मोठे 2-2 मिलियनचे
In that moment of retrieving the gun, Apex takes it as a chance to just cross over through secret.
So again, we see some rounds like this where Apex can find out if there's people downstairs. If there are, then he can just turn into a vent player or just frag out.
Trying to flash them out. I don't think they're thinking about Flamesy, so Nico lets the AK go, and Flamesy just nails him with that shot. Unarmored head at that moment.
Yeah, that's how you approach lower players. And that'll be the lower sight now, vulnerable.
10 drop kick.
अरे मैं किती वेळा बघितलं हा SMG रश करतो तेव्हाच याचे
unfortunately they'll get back to guns in this follow-up.
Nothing poor Magis can do about it. But the thing is, every time you push lobby, you've got to consider that Rops is hiding in one of these corners.
Yeah, he knows he's looking for him.
Talk about the anxiety that must be when it comes to playing versus a team that has Rops on it. You know, just really the best of his style.
It's just because you just slot him in and he adds space. He doesn't take it. He is like Nico in that sense. Or Nico play outside, he adds space because everyone else can do whatever they want. Monacis can come support if he wants to, but you don't have to have 2-player setups outside with him on the team. Same with Rops. You leave him on an angle, you know he's good. So
I think versus
requires very little support.
Versus Spirit in the semi-final yesterday as well. I mean, Rops just gave us a masterclass in terms of the lobby to ramp looks. Anytime Outer was played, which was basically every round from Apex, right? His consistency in hitting yard had that Spirit squad just so hyper-focused. And in those moments, every time you let your guard down, Rops is just going to creep around those corners.
Yeah.
Felt like ramp had his name just stamped across it.
Yeah, it's just ramp and secret. You know, it's the longer way to get to lower, but it's the way that a Vitality likes to approach it. They do not risk trying to do vent drops with upper fakes because there's so much spam involved, so many nades that can blow up and smokes in CS2 that it's just way more dangerous to do that. It becomes situational for them. But you know, low numbers late into the round, Squeaky's always a great option. When Vitality feel like they're in the power position and 5v5, they will go for outside cross smokes, establish on secret, then make a choice after that. A lot of times it's the ramp splits that come in. And then in between those rounds, it's the full strength upper hits. You know that's on the back of Falcons' minds right now because they haven't seen that yet.
So far, Maui Snake was correct in his assessment of Nico kind of getting put through the blender, struggling to get some outer momentum going. m0NESY spots it from above. Nico wants to try to test this, but also doesn't give away his position. Doesn't
found the timing, though.
Wants to flank. And then at the same time, Rops gets active.
Oh,
From top hut comes the
nice.
response out of Magisk. And
Nice.
Nico actually didn't follow. He goes
didn't
deep
go.
into the corners of Garage instead, just waiting for the main split.
I think after Rops got his kill, he started to get concerned about upper suddenly, because why would that lurk come in? Well, it was just to thin the herd down a little bit.
Just such another great example of Vitality getting their opponents
So
to second guess every piece of info that they have.
even without
Caster
ramp, you
Basha
have
hai
the threat of a three-pronged split here on lower. You've got the windows on control side, the doors, and decon as well. Tessus is up in the spot, Xanteris. It's a key position, but right now the attack is not majority from decon.
Despite Rops being dead, m0NESY still concerned about that ramp flank.
Arre.
Good one from Tessus.
Arre, marna
Keep
to
the
nahi.
decon kill clean. There's a deep peek, bolstered by that smoke.
Incredible.
You get m0NESY out of the equation by smoking it off. They just jump on Tessus.
And see, that's the three-prong split right there. They don't even need to come in from ramp for it, and they still have so many ways to attack. They did a good
They
job
are
also
saving.
of surveying inside of the vent before they went into decon, and they saw there were no rotations. That's where it was very scary for Falcons. They didn't actually know for
Gun
sure
bottle hai.
that that was what was happening. It was only Nico's
बघितलं का? एकदा
audible
आत बघा तर gun
as
bottle.
4 players crossed right by him
m0NESY still 0 kills.
that they felt it
चांगली
was
का
going to be
बघा.
a lower attack.
चांगली आहे का
In a
बघा.
moment there where
हम
Nico
लोग
had to
तब
make
ऐसे
a critical choice
खेलेंगे
to
भाई.
follow through a smoke into secret with the
हमें
threat of
घासनी
that
पड़ेगी.
entire pack of players he heard staring at him as
बहुत
they maybe
घासनी
come back to
पड़ेगी.
A and arguably set up by an
बहुत,
early
बहुत,
activation
बहुत.
of Rops.
This is a disinformation play
A
from
nuclear
Vitality.
plant.
Okay.
They had Rops come out of hut onto upper. No
Nuke
matter
plant
what
in nuke,
happens,
bhai.
it stops Nico from worrying about this flank because he thinks there's some greater plan at play. And instead, Vitality just go forward, are happy with it being a 4v4, and take the lower side as if it's a standard round. Oh,
There have been in the past criticisms of Magisk on the A site defensive nuke.
yeah, for sure.
That's
But
a round
yeah.
where unfortunately the timing, he's not having eyes on the hut exit. This
Oh.
time he finds the opening kill. Sweet revenge for having dropped his teammate in the round prior. Magisk gets away with 10 HP.
अरे
of
कोई ना
two
कोई ना एक
rifles here
किल
for
किया ना
Falcons.
मैजिस ने और वो भी
been
रोप्स
a few
का
rounds with two
और क्या
rifles.
चाहिए.
Early force buys didn't really net them much. Still just that one round win.
Nico just wants to get involved so bad.
Garlic.
He might have a
is
timing
very
swing.
OP.
We'll see. Utility's not here to support him, though. He's
Here's
just going to
them.
be listening.
I mean, stomping all the while. They gotta know somebody's potentially
Oh,
back
the
here.
flash
Eats
is
that flash
perfect.
fully. He gets into the smoke. Oh, this is huge.
Did they both eat it? Is that why?
That was m0NESY on the other end of it. Now m0NESY and Nico are just face to face, and m0NESY's gonna serve up a distraction in the
What
middle of it.
just
How has he
happened?
managed to skate past them twice?
What?
He doesn't even know he was sharing a room with his enemy right there and somehow doesn't get the chance to get a kill.
ZywOo will, though. Doesn't let that chance slip by. Just denies Kicksan outside of main. I mean, that could have been a bloodbath either direction.
2 players
Yeah.
guaranteed upstairs. They probably think there's an extra one. They're trying to speed up down lower.
It's the pistol in TSS. Hits the headshot
So
again.
nasty.
That Desert Eagle has been class, but m0NESY and ZywOo with the better weapons get the better position. And unfortunately, limited rifles, one of which in Nico's hands just never has anything to shoot at.
Got a good set of utility here from Magisk. Nico's coming in full HP, and they have a kit. It's worth a shot.
Nico's got to be the one to unravel this. m0NESY opts
Wait.
to take that deep position back sight. Magisk slow to the party, but critically has to come through with the kit and the util. And ZywOo's missed that timing on the flank. Nico's gonna start to crawl upwards. It feels
Did he
like
miss
ZywOo's
that?
gonna find himself 1v2.
Ah.
m0NESY gets cleared out, just trying to hold it on his own.
Arre.
Remember, kit out there on the play, but Magisk, he's gonna die to this nade. Just
he
gets
crushed
blown
it.
off sight. ZywOo, ice cold, another clutch to the tally.
Yeah, that's right, man.
GG
Running out of
Falcons,
chalk
GG.
now with this tally. My goodness. Vitality absolutely crushing. Perfect rotations every time they've hit lower, even when there's players here to stop them. They are so careful about the way that they approach, and it's always like 2 kills at the same time as they're entering in. That's even with a great deagle shot from TSS. zany situation inside of the big garage between Nico and Mezzi. Man, they don't even know they were sharing space. They could smell each other in that spot.
And if I'm Nico, I'm starting to get so frustrated.
Yeah.
The round prior, you know, he kind of hides back garage.
Yeah, it's he can't play the game.
He can't.
Can't play the game.
He can't play the game. He would love to.
And that's what Vitality want. The thing is, man, this Vitality's game plan is outside. We know that about their T side.
Every time.
And Nico, well, he's supposed to be the perfect counter to that. So if he can't play the game, he's got to ask for help or find a new way to try. Because otherwise, there's just going to be a lot of sitting behind smokes and letting Secret get taken over. The one time he started here was the 1 AK round for ZywOo, where Flamesy baited and saw him. Nice. Okay. There's a little bit of support. Actually countering the cross smokes was something.
There's a lot of attention, though, given over to it, right?
Apex
Tess
मरा
has
है
the
तो
secret
Apex
plus the
अपना
kicks and Nico combo.
brain चलाएगा.
And this road leads to upper.
They're
for
going to
sure.
test him. Rob's behind the vent already.
Also, speaking of not playing the game, avoiding Monastery entirely too. He's 1-6.
Robs has had a good time on this A floor, finding timings. And now he's got support from Hut instead. Kicksand just kind of caught in the open. Now suddenly tons of pressure here on Magis. They write him off for a second. He's not able to get more than one. And so they do what Robs does and just creep out onto this bomb site in numbers, recovering from a man deficit.
It's got to be a retake, man. It's not going to be an easy round, but it's finally a round that ends upper, and they're in a 3-on-3.
He's looking for the flank. Vitality locking into these forward positions inside of Hut. Flamesy thinking about the approach, sees a bit of skin, tries to pounce on it. Meanwhile, squeaky door held off. ZywOo awaits your attempt. Do you have anything behind it? Not in his eyes.
No chance.
Not in his game. Not this time. 7-1 Vitality.
Not a moment where he gets greedy and goes a little bit too wide on that. 15-2 is ZywOo here on map 5. Nico finally gets a kill outside early on to make it a 5v4, and then this happens. No! The conditioning for Vitality is the upper side has been left so passive for so long. There's no one up in Mustang, no one up in Fur, no one in Heaven to spot this Hut walkout, and that gets used against them again.
Fast one. Flamesy wants to test it.
They're dropping the vent.
Thinking to yourself, you've just got the weapons advantage. You are absolutely correct. Playing with Falcons at the moment. Rob's gonna drop util just to ensure that there is no sudden thrust from the Falcons retake. There it is, the one gun. Nico knows he's gotta do it, and he's gotta do it on his terms.
Yep, 5v3 now.
Just comes flying out through the smoke grenade, keeps them on their toes, and obviously here you see Apex so far removed. It is a long journey for him to join up with this very open crossfire between Rops and Mezzi. A vacant bomb site between them. Pressure on both ends now that that smoke comes up. And Robs knows he has to play into cover. All of a sudden, his teammate's dead. And so Apex a little late to the party, but with a 10-second defuse covered by smoke, they get the better of it, you'd think.
Oh my goodness.
Yet again, it's gonna come down to the
Falcon
wire, but
cooking,
this time,
nice clutch,
it's
nice
Falcons.
clutch.
Every kill
Eco.
and the last possible opportunity, and they get the defuse. I'm so happy for Falcons. Otherwise, what do they get out of this half?
Honestly, no blind deagle shot and
Vitality have every right to be upset about it because it is just these egoing players.
Nice.
And guess what changed this round?
Free fire.
Nico got to play.
Oh, bye.
Makes a move through smoke.
Ooh. Apex needed to go around to decon to make that happen.
Right.
But he was on a very long walk there. I can understand.
Lul.
7 rounds on this T side already. Spam damage for Rops to have to deal with.
Nade, Magis, nade.
Magic in these most recent rounds has been making a harder go of it for the Estonian. And we've seen a lot of setups with no rafters support, but this time that's different. Kicksand gets vision of them falling down that vent. Tons of damage done. But yet once more, it looks like bomb should plant. Tesses has other ideas. Molotov for him to have to deal with. Mezzi just wants to put this into the post plant. At the very least, bomb down. And maybe now these lurks can activate at the right moment. But Monesi keeps his head on a swivel. Apex is going to write off the possibility of another on the
Apex जब
A4.
जिंदा रहता है ना वो
Your
chances
time
कम
to
रहते
shine,
हैं. Apex
and
मरता है
nothing
तो
more
वो
than the
eye healing
one.
करता है.
Falcons tether nicely, and they deal with these
जिंदा
high-pressure
रहता है तो भाई eye
situations
healing इतना नहीं
smoothly.
ज़्यादा नहीं
Another
करना.
retake added to the
Clutch situation
round
में.
count.
Yeah,
3 Mo, it's not enough.
I'm surprised to see the vent plays because again, Vitality just don't do that often. But we've got two now in pretty close situations early on in the round. And this is why, because in CS2 you can spam the smoke, you can see somebody easily. Magisk, as you mentioned, has been doing really good damage early on versus Squeaky. And two lurks in play is just a little bit too much. So Vitality give one away.
Also, Vitality diving that vent, but we see it from Kicksan's perspective. Man, that really was at the end of the smoke. Maybe gets more vision than they would have liked. No denying they've got Falcons on the edge of their seats.
7 round. I know is why.
I think Falcons are going to stay there because they are starting to pull off these round wins.
Carrigan भी नहीं match कर पाएगा उस level का IGL.
We'll see how Vitality approach this one.
3 rounds मतलब ठीक है चलो.
Yeah, this time it's just
7-5 होना चाहिए.
Throwing some utility again. They always establish, threaten the cross, get someone in secret, but here they could come back to upper.
इसका clip बना के एक shots के लिए on.
It's a vulnerable site. The way that it's been held so far, I'm not surprised they just want to straight up attack it.
Channel पे भाई पता नहीं भाई अभी तो बहुत ढूंढना पड़ेगा वो.
Here, Apex. Okay, you would have heard that. Kicksan takes fire damage.
पहले भाई याद भी नहीं है.
You've got more pressure coming out from Squeaky, but the hut holds good here from Magisk. So A-site defense tested, but not bested. And a vent drop? No way.
Well, he's got away with the bomb.
Zywoo comes back up. Magisk holds him, gets the headshot for 8 HP. He tries again. Slippery is this Zywoo.
Yeah. Wow, there's still two players up there. They're the ones who wanted to come down the vent after him. He had no idea. He thought for sure they had one player snuck away. And there was a chance that he pulled that off.
Light बंद कर दूँ मैं.
Stuff the upper attack because they molly into mini. Apex comes in what looks like early. Kicksan has nowhere else to go, obviously.
I thought I heard a flash, and Kicksan was looking into the wall, so maybe Apex is really confident. He's blind. He's going to take the risk, run through fire. You know, Apex does flirt
one more
with
round.
danger.
We need one more round. Last round है वो भी टेकना ही लिया है उन्होंने, तो aggression होगा.
Momentum from Vitality suddenly comes to a bit of a halt.
Yeah, they get. I mean, Falcons get 5 here. They've made a full recovery. It's not the 9-3 they got at Melbourne, but
match book last है, decider match है.
Potential for 4 in a row.
Definitely.
2-2 score है क्या?
And knowing the stat line in terms of pistol round wins, you gotta hang on to that.
Nice. 7-5 हुई
looks to thrive. Mezzi cuts him down, and Robs has got the next one here for Vitality. Dink though out from Hut. It's in the realm of possibility. Tesses from the top. Clean as need be. 4-round streak to end that.
7-5. Drink water. Stay hydrated.
निकोला बोलो त्यावेळी सारखे खेळ मॅप तुझाच आहे भाई.
हाँ. बैठ के कंटाळा आला यार.
15 मिनिटासाठी गेलेलो गेल्यावर सोडलाच नाही.
काय
15 मिनिटासाठी गेलेलो गेल्यावर सोडलाच नाही.
कसं सोडतील, आधीच तू आलास पळून.
अरे पिऊन होते ना.
और तेरे को आज परमिशन मिला लेट स्ट्रीम का क्या सवाल है? अरे कल रात तो भाई 2 बज गए. जैसे ही हमने फेसिट खत्म किया, बोला एक खेलते, अच्छा मूड था भाई. 2 बज गए मैच के लिए. CS खेल रहे थे 2 बजे तक। वो एक मैच के बाद एक मैच। लाइट गयो नहीं है लाइट है लाइट है। लाइट बंद कर दी यार। अभी कोई पता नहीं चलनी चाहिए ना हम अभी तक जगह है, इसीलिए। क्या है इनका पगार प्लेयर के? हर प्लेयर के पगार बहुत रहते हैं रे। हर प्लेयर का अलग अलग पगार रहता है, इसका अलग उसका अलग, लेकिन किसी का मालूम नहीं रहता। इसका उसको नहीं मालूम रहता, उसका उसको नहीं मालूम रहता, और बताते भी नहीं है। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में रहता है कि नहीं बताना, वरना एक नॉर्मल प्लेयर और एक स्टार प्लेयर दोनों को सेम सैलरी नहीं रहती, अलग अलग रहती। ये चीज़ है। 1 CR नहीं रही, उतना आइडिया नहीं, फिगर में आइडिया नहीं है भाई। 1 CR तो नहीं रहेगा, या फिर ऐसा भी होता है। अभी जो विनिंग अमाउंट है ना, उसमें से थोड़ा तेरे को परसेंटेज होता है, इतना परसेंट आपको इतना परसेंट हमको, ऐसा सीन है। बहुत सारे तरीके से वो रहता है उनका। मतलब अभी रिपब्लिक ऑफ गेमर्स ये लिखा है उसकी जर्नी पे, जर्सी पे, तो वो लिखने के लिए जो जर्सी ओनर है मतलब वाइटेलिटी, उनके पास वो स्पॉन्सरशिप जाएगा, हमारी लोगो आपके यहाँ पर होना चाहिए, हम इतना आपको देंगे। जो उनको मिलता है ना पैसा, वो बांट देते हैं प्लेयर्स में और ओनर में। ये चीज़ है, क्योंकि वो प्रेजेंट करने वाले हैं।
And now we go into the second half. We'll see. It started off so badly with the pistol and the denied conversion, and then the one after that. And Falcons have shown us really impressive stuff here on the pistol. It's time to bring it again.
Robs finds his.
Blind.
Apex and Flamesy just fully expecting this play.
Total shutout.
In a game full of pistol round wins, we've not seen one so lopsided.
You can see Apex bouncing in his chair. The ramp set up the call to stack it. It's correct.
Read like a book.
And there have been so many good pistol rounds here for Falcons in terms of reads. Getting to the open sight.
Tax is less, so yeah, yes.
Yeah, literally.
50 lakhs
so
तो
many
आराम
different
से हो
plays on the
जाता
kill
है।
feed.
50 lakhs पर मंथ। लाइट गयो, मेरा लाइट गयो, अरे
They're having fun.
There's no way he is in a 25th potential match win streak, and Apex's mouse has run out of battery.
Is that what happened?
They said charge your mouse in between rounds.
No.
Apex.
अरे मैं एक माउस देख रहा था रे वेनम टेक के ऊपर। त्याने एक माउस बघितलं तिथे ना रिचार्जेबल बॅटरी होती, म्हणजे 2 बॅटरी प्रोव्हाइड केलेल्या, एक संपली की लगेच काढून दुसरी लावायची।
Vitality is anytime soon. Not in a round like this one.
Choose properly.
Leaning back from this pistol. Falcons know time limited. And they want those buys as soon as possible. So let this one go. Hopefully Nico maybe can chip away at Vitality.
Maybe
but
play this round just plugged in, you know?
Yeah,
8000 cooling rate with wire. तुझा किती आहे रे?
Maybe he's just charging 3 ecos.
अब हा नुसता स्पॅम करायचा रे यार।
go for the chase.
We're never going to be at the Olympics, bro.
नुसता जंप शॉट मारतोय।
Look, it's plugged in.
Yeah, it's plugged in. There we go.
भाई चार्जिंग खत्म हो गया।
No way.
That's how you know it's time for a rifle round, folks.
That is how you know you've become too comfortable with winning. Or you've been playing too much Counter-Strike.
Hey, the technology is so good. It's lasted them this entire streak.
Right?
1 charge.
भाई हाँ 5 मैच खेला ना वो।
The games just don't
इसी
stop
वजह
coming.
से
Here we
हो
go.
गया।
Buy round
Apex
for Falcons.
unplugged, baby.
And unleashed very quickly. Into secret
अरे
stairs. He's not
चार्जिंग
alone in this
संपली
outer place.
माऊसची
Whoa
अपेक्षा
now.
त्याने प्लग इन केला
Worried about Silo
राउंड
for a
होईपर्यंत
second.
आणि आता
Look how thorough
अनप्लग केला।
these outer setups are. I mean, this is Iwu drawing attention. Like, before it was just Nico by
राउंड
himself
चालू झाला
floating
असा
around.
अनप्लग केला।
Here, there's a little bit more going on. Oh, perfect clear out of Nico. Ducks under that one. ZywOo with one back, they know that someone's crossed, someone's dropped.
Flamesy's MP9 in vent just kind of gives him a little more room. Nico thinking about the ladder, but Flamesy, up close.
Step back at the perfect time.
Splatters him. And then cautious about Kicksand. Now that is perfect.
Incredible.
That's how you do it. Nico showed us an excellent approach to clearing the secret corner. Flamesy stepping back gives him a taste of his own medicine.
Won't allow himself to get pre-fired. And the fact that he won that second duel.
हारना चाहिए Falcon. क्यों पता है? मैचेस को निकाल लो भाई. इसके बाद
HP, but his job
जीतेंगे तो नहीं निकालेंगे.
A few more seconds and Falcons will just think about saving.
आइशा पर लाइट आली की कंट्रोलर वाइब्रेट हो तो यार. कंट्रोलर प्लग इन किया है.
Bomb back maybe, but even that shouldn't inspire you enough to think you can test this site.
मैचेस को निकाल के सिंपल को लाना चाहिए भाई.
Yeah, I guess they're here.
Yeah, मैचेस को निकाल यार.
Gotta be the best clear ever. And Flamesy's low though.
Low HP gives them a second chance at the swing. Smoke grenade as well could cover the plant. Things could indeed get weird here. Flamesy repositions. Mossy catching a kill elsewhere. What a slide by.
He's still alive.
Disappears and now Mossy to a pistol.
That's the slippery Flamesy we know. That's
इसी को तो लाओ यार मैचेस को हटाओ.
Every move, man. That's Flamesy in motion. Like, he avoided getting pre-fired. He took a little damage on his next fight with a nice push-pull in the vent, taking the fight on his own terms. Into getting a flash out and doing a Batman dive into the site with 11 health.
Because he has played with
just hurdles the railing there, slips down, kills one, dives over into the corner to make sure Mossy is spinning like a top.
Falcon में वापस.
And Falcons are going to be left dizzy
वो लोन पे था
at
ना.
the prospect of this comeback now.
मतलब ये ले तेरे को 10 रुपया दिया 10 मिनट मेरे साथ खेल. ऐसा चीज
Do
था.
what we
10
do
मिनट हो चुके थे.
best, and that is comebacks. ZywOo's going to get killed by Magis from behind red, so that's a gun to be grabbed.
3 confirmed on the cross, bomb dropped as well.
ZywOo is dead.
Falcons have to be worried that they go to try to take over inner.
नहीं होगा यार. 5-13 होगा.
Nico, you know, besides
easy win for
Image's gun, yeah.
The fact that they bring Kevlar into the equation, one of the awkward features of that Mirage game was the rounds Falcons pulled out of the hat with lesser buys. We haven't seen it since, but it could damn well rear its head here in the 16th of Nuke. Rops is getting distracted, but unfortunately for the Falcon side, Kicksand can't get him.
You can't use a Rops play versus Rops, can you? It seems like Falcons are doing a lot of what Vitality do, except the difference is Vitality are playing pushed up outside, more players outside in general, a lot more active, a lot more information.
A stark contrast to the moments where a single smoke blocks Nico's vision.
Does anybody spot when Mezzi has the cross from opposite vent?
They'll watch it from vent at 25. Mezzi should be afforded to just lock in on this swing.
Yeah, he sometimes has to check Squeaky just in case because of Rops' feet. But
right now, burst timing possible for him, but Rops is able to find that. Vent player, okay,
no problem.
Mezzi just gonna snap it down. It felt like they had found their opening. Falcons getting the better of the timing.
There is just one. He had to check Squeaky at least a little bit just because Rops will get spotted his feet by people walking on the Squeaky, but he's in a good spot to watch HUD. Only timing they could have come out, they found it, but he still handles the situation.
And I'm curious because Rops gets the kill on Heaven, so I wonder if he checks it. Yeah, that's 6 singles.
Yeah, wow. Did he just duck under a shot, though?
In the moment Mezzi checks Squeaky, Rops knows hold Heaven.
Wow.
That is the level of communication that Vitality are currently operating on. Cerebral CS.
I would love to know if they calmed it. Because whether or not it was communication or intuition, it's incredible. These guys just met each other.
Almost exposed. Shots from top silo. Apex, though, I think, you know, he's afforded these kinds of spams. Even when we're talking about Nico in Garage, think about how infrequently he spammed any smokes or kind of puffed his chest like Apex will. Why? Because he was always on his own.
Yeah, and they could have had more nades, you know. The one time Kicksand naded it, Nico got a kill on the cross. Yeah, CS2 nuke, man. You gotta put more pressure on those smokes.
किसी को छोड़ा ही नहीं भाई पिंटो भाई आपने Nico,
Rops and
Rifler,
Zywoo, both 18
Sniper,
and 8 in this
Lurker,
game.
Anchor, and IGL. भाई best of the best 5 players. क्या बात है क्या बात.
And we'll see if Nico just gets cozy in the vent for the upstairs pop or what.
Next Cloud9 lineup आ जाएगा
One
तो ये
spotted, door gets opened
Ropes
upstairs.
की जगह कोई और होगा शायद.
They're really trying to fake this with Nico. But no one has to move from the CT perspective.
Add Zywoo to then.
No one in the hunt to catch that drop off.
Simple है.
Molotov gets him to change spots. Zywoo
Simple
down
over,
after one.
Zywoo
You've got Mezzy looking to anchor, supported from above.
Oh, what a shot.
That support's dead thanks to Monacy. Bunch of damage here. And a late arrival from Rops, as he is nowhere to be found.
Kerrigan is
All
noob,
made
bro.
possible
Nahi.
by Monacy, who was
Kerrigan
not
is
afforded
god, man.
much gameplay in that first half. Just left over in ramp, barely ever tested.
Kerrigan good.
From 6 kills to 9.
अभी
off
बुड्ढा हो
this
चुका है लेकिन
integral
IGL
moment.
I
अच्छी
think that's
करता है.
also game plan, though, that Monacy didn't get to play the game because this is another player that could have been getting kills outside. There was no opping outside in general. And because it's Nico who can and
Experience
decide to play
matter.
by
अभी
himself, I wouldn't be
देखो
surprised if that was just the idea they had.
जो
But the
नए
amount of
मेटा
times they could
अडैप्ट
have
कर
picked
रहे
off,
हैं
I mean, a lot of
उनको
teams could pick
पुराने
off
मेटा
Apex
की कोई
walking
नॉलेज
around,
नहीं है
even though he's very
क्योंकि
careful.
कम नॉलेज है. नॉलेज है
There
लेकिन
are
कम
tons of
नॉलेज है.
chances to do that. And this round won't come without losses. Okay, Kickstand survives, gets a kill in the end. It's one round here for Falcons. It's an upper take that's
वहाँ
very
पर वो
close.
सर्वाइव किया रे.
Vitality, you know, they're not
Ah,
gullible
simple
here. They don't
Apex
actually
can
move
play
too many players down
aggressive
lower
and,
because that Nico fake.
Kerrigan
But
ropes
Monacy
and
hits a
mid.
key shot up into heaven.
हाँ. One
Here are the other ones as well.
Apex और simple का लफड़ा हो सकता है.
Nice round.
He got 0 kill in majors.
Clearly a
So
bit of
that's
an
why
act of
Simple
desperation
doesn't
there
wanna
from
play
Flamesy.
PS to do नहीं.
It's gonna take
Critical
a
moment.
हमारा कोई भी जो ओपिनियन है ना मैटर नहीं करता
But
रे.
it affords them,
हम
even
सिर्फ
though
अपनी बातें
only one
मतलब
player survives,
चर्चा
another
कर
gun
सकते
round
हैं.
with nades.
उनके ऊपर अप्लाई नहीं करते.
It's clear now Tessus isn't going to get 40 kills for you
Nico
again
carries
on
alone
Nuke, so
Wendy.
it's going to have to be Monacy and
Nuke map
Nico
over.
coming up to make this
Nico?
comeback happen. This could be
Nico,
where we were at on Mirage with the
outside
same thing
आज
for Vitality.
आज ropes चल रहा है. अभी के टाइम लो ropes चल
Time
रहा
for
है.
you to look inspired, Falcons. Just coming off a good round.
If the engine of each of these teams are their op and rifle combo, it is very clear that Vitality
Counter-Strike nerfs
is online.
the player
Yet
of the
again, Rops
decade
and
player.
Zywoo top the charts, waiting for their challenge, and it's offered up by Kickstand. Flamesy bested. That's looking like a nice primed A site for the taking.
एक
Monacy
साल में
thinking
सारे
about that
tournament
flank. Good on him. It's a nice risk assessment, but Rops
Vitality
will
हाँ
always respond if you give
ये
him that
साल के
chance.
शायद
And
जीतेंगे
it's a
सारे
weather
tournaments.
not tethered
Vitality
off of
era चल रहा
Apex.
है
Can he
अभी
come
तो.
out from Garage to join up here, or because of the costs of the last round, do they write this one off?
This is the
If
end
they had
of
a
era
Molly for
और
opposite vent,
continues.
maybe they try it.
रहने वाला है.
I don't know if they're going to wait for a
Vitality
mistake and
era.
see.
देखते हैं.
Probably going to come down to Apex here.
At the same time,
Yes,
you've also
Simple
talked
has
about a
walls
round
in
one
brain.
ago that cost a lot of Falcons
Best player
as they
भाई, best
departed
player
that bomb
Simple.
site with the round win.
No match.
And it looks like Vitality
अभी
understand the weight of
सबटिक
the
की वजह से
situation.
इशू है लेकिन
They
ठीक है.
kept the losses high last round on Falcons. Win. They're going to try to do that again.
Almost.
But Apex dies.
Rops, though, could still do it. He'll drop at least one. And the bomb, oh no, finds Tessus.
Last 2 rounds. One
But there
alive
we go.
here.
Good on Falcons. Good on Monacy. We said that's the duo that's got to get active.
Yeah.
Flashy player but
All
good
right, this one's
IQ.
expensive, but
God.
this game is now within reach here for Falcons. 2
एक
very good
पैसे
rounds.
खेलते हैं ना नहीं. अरे बजे देखना कितने.
Just
अभी
a double
नहीं.
hut setup that
कल
only gets
direct.
1 kill, and Monacy's awareness. Make sure to refrag and get a second in the sequence. 2 good rifle rounds back to back for him.
नींद आएगी.
Vitality have been excellent at getting lots of kills on rounds like these, if not outright winning them. So surely Falcons going to approach this with caution.
Zywoo invests pretty heavily.
Stand हो गया है. खड़ा बोलते.
Doesn't try to hide
मतलब
the facts.
And I wonder if they see the outside cross smokes, if Vitality are going to try to go into a stack, because they're doubled up on ramp at the moment. And we see that Rops takes trophies so often, or at least postures
Basic
for it.
नशे भाई.
If this goes into an upper hit, they don't clear
They
this
can
out
come
first.
back
This is going to be
from
something they have to
3-12,
consider again.
but can't win.
Wow.
Goes to round.
Oh, he is cranking it up.
Oh, nicely done, Monacy.
Monacy.
Perfectly isolates those fights. Fingers crossed. That is a sign of what's to come.
Looks like they're aiming to take this downstairs, actually. It should be no problem, but Zaiwu,
अभी के टाइम दो
he's on speed dial.
आईजीएल है
Outside
जो
of
कि
secret,
अच्छे
two
खेल
players
कर
already
सकते हैं
downstairs.
एपेक्स और
With the proper
Falcons
utility,
आईजीएल कौन करते
there's
सध्या
nothing to be
कायसन
worried about.
हाँ
Pixel.
The only thing they have to keep watch of is the time.
They still have enough of it.
अरे बाप रे.
Swing, hold on.
Nice.
All's good. Monacy and Tess keep their vision on that windowsill, and they make sure there's no funny business here from Vitality. That one rifle Zaiwu had never got a chance to
बड़ा
shine.
भेटला आईजीएल भारी
Maybe,
भेटला इतना.
depending on Magic's
Acer and
next moves,
Kaisen.
may not get a chance to
सुमा
save.
प्लेयर भेटले. मॅजिस का कुठून आला हो? मॅजिस पेक्षा
2 rounds prior had
मॅजिस पेक्षा डुपरी
one left
चांगला होता.
alive. This they'll actually have 4. This will help
5
them
मेजर
stabilize
विनर. ये 4 मेजर विनर है.
for the buy round coming up. As this game gets one step
मात्र
closer.
झाला रे. त्यांचा आता रिटायरमेंटचा वय आलो मॅजिसचा. त्याचा प्राइम
The
होता
first half of a
एस्ट्रलिस
4-round streak.
प्राइम. वाइटलिटी में प्राइम
Looking
था
to go
भाई.
on fire to make
मैजिस
this
का लेकिन
comeback
अभी नहीं है.
possible.
अभी
Want to see what the
उल्टा हो गया.
spirited rifle performance here
हाँ.
to complement his op performance on Mirage. 35 frags from him on
Zaiwu
Mirage.
and
I mean, both the maps that you see on the
single-handedly
top of the
carry
board
the
for
team's
Falcons,
CS right now.
essentially
No,
Monacy.
not
The
the
star both
Monacy.
shows
Zaiwu
Mirage
carry
a
कर रहा
whole
है.
other level.
Falcon team player है, team base है
Only
भाई.
player to come into this fifth
Magic
map with a
छोड़ के.
positive rating. And how poetic would it be if he
28
can
होते
push
ही
this
career खत्म.
Vitality the distance?
Yes.
It was such a slow first half. So we got Monacy. We still haven't seen Nico.
28 का नहीं है वो, शायद 31 का है. मैजिस.
Much
Carry
like
gun,
Rob's joining
33 after
Vitality,
34
Monacy
का है.
hoping to be that key to unlock everybody else. But he'll step it up on his own if he has to. Silent cross outer and no
Yes,
contest.
go.
Of all the rounds
From
we've seen
damage
Vitality
make
play
whatever.
quite forward defense outside, this is not the case.
Yeah.
And how does that change their lower hold?
Apex greets them with the smoke to let him know that he's ahead of this.
अबे एकेडमी आ चुकी है ना, सब स्पिरिट एकेडमी, नावी एकेडमी, सब
Cutlers
टीम
are a
की
little awkward
इटर्नल
sometimes.
फायर
You don't
एकेडमी.
protect the vent drop,
तो
but you're less likely to be
जो
cleared if
नए
someone's,
बंदे हैं
you
ना
know,
16
there's going to be some kind of
17
lower
साल के,
take.
वो बहुत
Very
अच्छा खेलते
careful
हैं.
with your jump spots. Oh,
और
shot comes
हमारे
out
यहाँ पर
early. They're going to rush him
सीन ही
down.
नहीं है
Sir
भाई.
fires beyond them, so nearly 0 damage off that one. And even a little bit slow to get out from the window, but he's lucky Falcons don't pounce.
It's kind of a weird composite. Are they going to try to make it upstairs, or are they going to commit here? As Magix is still sitting here inside the hut.
It's just that Mac 10, and
The
Mezzi's
bomb's going
done.
back. Yeah, they are going to try to bring it back upstairs.
बाईजूस एकेडमी.
This is like a late round adjustment. We'll see if it
भाई
works.
एक साल में बंद हो
So
जाता
he's
है
trying to go
बाईजूस.
down
Getting a
hut.
clue.
And if it gets dropped on hut, then suddenly Magisk is turned away from sight.
Little awkward here.
He still finds Flamesy at the very least, but now we're going
Nice.
double defense in the sight. Apex
The bomb.
starting to get
It was going back
rambunctious.
lower.
What's Monacy going to do with 15 seconds? He's
shit.
cut off by the in-game leader. They go back and forth. Damage here from Apex. There is still time. They've got to try to run it down with low health. Dark held on to 7 seconds. Plant denied. And they outplay themselves.
Yes, they do. They get so confused. They have
Useless
two
round.
ideas happening at the same time. They don't know which one to follow. And coming back up secret
For
only gets
sure,
them killed.
Falcon will come back and then it will be
Unfortunately,
again
after
like
3
it
great
seems
rounds
take
for
some time,
Falcons,
right?
they
Like-
fall apart mentally. They get it's too cluttered, the ideas. There's maybe too many cooks in the kitchen.
Seems
Maybe
to
it's the
so.
inexperience. But it's not a round to be proud of, unfortunately. That's a
Let's
tough way to go out.
Vitality wins this, end this fast.
Conversation
I
we
have to
had
go.
back on Mirage with the inability to close over 9
बज गया
map
रे.
points, only to win the first in OT. You said a classic sign of pressure.
Yeah.
When the
Magic's
comeback
ने
is
मस्त
yours
निकाला था
to
रे.
accomplish, so is losing to time.
Yeah. Whether it looked like they could plant or not, they didn't give themselves a real chance of taking a site with
अब एक single
control and
mistake.
patience. They just had to rush it down. And yes, there are moments here where Vitality are even confused. And that's because the options they thought were real weren't. So now it's a 4-round game. Falcons have to do better than that.
लंगड़े शायद रे 13-8. Let's finish it, bro. Apex, use your third brain.
It's hard to compare an IGL to someone like Apex, who has played for as long as he has, versus all the best teams in the world in history, and who has been IGLing for 6 years now.
Wealth of experience in different roles on different rosters in different periods of Counter-Strike.
This is vitality.
We talk about Kerrigan's encyclopedia that he's able to tap into. Apex is creating those pages.
Yeah, not only has he become a great IGL, he's now the one that everyone copies.
Major में
That's the biggest compliment to his game.
हाँ ना, रख सकते हैं. Major qualify हम नहीं कर सकते अभी.
Are you just going to be a cheap imitation? And if so, are you going
have
to be
imitation.
obvious?
Man, what are they trying this time? We've gotten down to 40 seconds, and there's barely been movement.
This is bad again. I think they want to take an upper because that's where their best entries have been. Apex catches lurks from this position. This is why you play here.
It's a deep lean. It's a back turn to him. Oh, but he lets Flamesy drop in the process. Hut push means bomb dropped. Mezzy off the site again. Rock solid anchors.
मजा आया.
They pull it off again. 100 days since their last loss. And a win streak that won't just go one step further, but rather one that'll cross yet another continent. From Melbourne to Lisbon to Stockholm to Poland, and now in Copenhagen too, the 8th Counter-Strike 2 trophy for this organization.
हम तो ये ट्रॉफी बघून जाता. म्यूट किया है मैंने. नो इज्जत. लंगड़े नो इज्जत भाई. Vitality भाई. Vitality wins every aspect in game. Vitality wins bro. लेकिन दो लोग चले नहीं, एपेक्स और फ्लेम्सी, फिर भी जीत गए क्योंकि रोप्स, ज़ाइवू एंड मेजी. हमारा यहाँ सिर्फ मैचेस भी ठीक ठाक सब चले रहे. अरे ये उठा दे, ये मूवमेंट चाहिए.
Team Vitality.
म्यूट करता हूँ, कॉपीराइट आता है रे.
काय तो रोप सीजे सारखा दिसते.
काय बोलतोस?
मग तुझ्या थोडी केस जास्त आहेत. थोडीच हो.
केस जास्त आहेत माझे.
तेच सांगते, तुझे केस जास्त आहेत.
म्हणजे मी टकला झाल्यावर तसं दिसेल का?
वयस्कर आताच एक फोटो काढून दे. वयस्कर झालंस ना की एक फोटो काढ.
होईल का वयस्कर? चलो गाइस, स्ट्रीम एंड कर दे भाई, नींद आ रही है. मजा आया आज. ईरा ऑफ येलो भाई, अभी ईरा कंटिन्यू है वाइटलिटी का. मज़ा आया देख के. लास्ट मैप इतना मज़ा नहीं आया देखने में क्योंकि वन साइड ही था. बहुत सारी मिस्टेक्स हो चुकी है फैल्कन से, लेकिन क्या कर सकते हो. इट्स वाइटलिटी ब्रो. आईजेलिंग में कमी दिखी मेरे को आज किक्सन की, तो है कुछ तो खामियां है. रोप्स का एम कहाँ से लाओगे अस्मित बॉय? एम है हमारे पास, ऐसा मत बोलो. लेकिन उसका दिमाग चाहिए हमें. दिमाग नहीं है, रोप्स जैसा दिमाग नहीं है, रोप जैसे मोमेंट नहीं है. लेकिन शक्ल तो देख सकता है ना, बस उतने में खुश है हम. चलो गाइस, चलो मिलते हैं कल ऐसे ही मज़ेदार स्ट्रीम पे. हम तो ये नहीं देखने वाले, अभी बहुत रात हो चुकी है, जाना है सोने. चलो मिलते हैं कल इस स्ट्रीम पे. थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग गाइस, और मज़ा आया देख के. बाय 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 बाय. गुड नाइट, स्वीट ड्रीम्स. साइनिंग ऑफ.
AsmitCJ gamer मैं गेम में मास्टर टीचिंग है भाई, फनी वाइब्स और ट्यूटोरियल भी है, कंपैटिटिव मोड में एनर्जी हाई, स्ट्रीम पे लोगों की हंसते सुने रोज नए ट्रिक्स हम बताए, या नॉलेज और मजाक दोनों में, entertainment's got the fun lie अरे सीजे गेम के साथ अब बस जीतो हर गेम में नया सब्र सीखो, हमारे साथ रहो